like Neil's in the house. We haven't talked Shaq.
Good. Thank God.
I was talking about how miraculous. I was talking about how miraculous it is that the internet, which was off for 3 days, miraculously is repaired 15 minutes before you come on the air. The rest of us can't.
Correct.
Yes,
that's right.
The rest of us can't get it done.
It was the Duffmeister. He came in and waved his magic wand.
You fairy.
And all of a sudden, bada bing.
That's what he's waving.
Yeah, he's waving something around.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Didn't work. What are we going to do about those Israelis, by the way? I know I caught you off guard with that one.
Yeah. I wasn't talking about that today.
What, about Israelis?
Yeah.
I had a spy report, even though this had nothing to do with my thing, about something about Shai. Isn't he Israeli? You're a board-op producer, whatever he is?
He is of Israeli extraction.
Well, how sad. I had an experience at Woodbine with a group of Israelis that were so disgusting and loud and obnoxious and pushy and just, oh, man.
They're very aggressive people.
Aggressive, my ass.
Don't you know the old line that they were going to put in there for El Al?
Oi!
Visit Israel before it visits you?
Yeah, right. Man, oh man, pushy and just all over my back and all over, just disgusting. I don't want to. I'll tell the whole story eventually. I don't want to take up your valuable time with it.
What do you mean? We're on your time now.
Oh, that's right. Like I said, I'll save it. Yeah, thank God we got that phone fixed.
Oh!
Wasn't looking too promising. I was thinking about going back to bed when I came in here this morning about 8:20.
This
Didn't
place,
look too good.
This place.
There's an accident waiting to happen.
4 days with no internet.
4.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you know, this part of this operation depends on the dissemination of news in a certain area.
The dissemination of news?
Yes.
When does that start? Was we have a format change? Oh, I see.
So.
Also, I understand we have a little problem with the DirecTV, too. I wonder if they haven't paid their bill on that thing.
Oh, that's out, too?
I do believe.
I don't know. As long as they get that Univision weather girl on, we're okay.
And then this week we got the hockey deal finally. Just forget about it already. Will you please, all you hockey people?
You're
just
not
forget
big
it.
on that.
Huh?
Wow, the thing is huge.
You're not big on that. So I won't even. I was prepared to bring it up with you at some point, but
don't.
You're not into it. So.
Don't even waste our time on it.
Not
it's just,
doing it. It's
such
your
crap.
time. My time's over.
And just talk about getting led down the garden path, man. Players giving up 24% of their salary and
really
just
see,
the whole thing is based on trying to keep alive a bunch of phony franchises. That's what sports becomes. So, including the Florida Panthers, by the way.
I think you could apply that to baseball.
Yeah. There's franchises that have absolutely no reason to exist anymore.
Yep. They don't have the money. They aren't drawing people. The word Florida comes
in hockey, even like Buffalo and Pittsburgh, franchises that have been around for a long time, but they can't support it. They just the markets are too small.
Yep. And I don't know. I guess there was also the fact that they keep moving into Sunbelt areas,
right,
where they're not supported.
Like Atlanta, where they failed the first time and they come back a second time, and like Nashville and like Florida and like Carolina. Nothing could be finer than to get out of Carolina.
So the answer to all of this is add more franchises.
That's it. That's a great idea. Instead of 30, why not have 100? And then they all make the playoffs.
Yes.
Got to get our Supreme Court Justice appointee today. It looks like this woman is, what the hell is her name? I got it here somewhere. Let's see. Her name is Edith Clement. She's a U.S. Court of Appeals judge in New Orleans. And, of course, it's been accelerated, not because they want to cover up the Karl Rove business. Oh, that's right. That is why they've accelerated it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take his time on this.
Yeah, not anymore.
That's what they were
All
saying on Friday.
It became very urgent to get this on the agenda, right?
Right. On Friday, he was going to take his time, and today or yesterday, we got to do it right away.
Exactly.
But
kind of a cover-up.
That's an ongoing thing in that.
Well, let's see. Duff was telling me a week from tomorrow. Let's see. Next Wednesday is the 27th. 27th is the book comes out, the spring book.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm really looking forward to that.
What does that mean?
Well, I've had two El Stinko trends.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Also, the odds are that
I'm
will be busting out all over.
Due for a shot, right?
Right. Due for a good shot.
We'll see. What do you want me to say?
Well, then I don't want you to say anything. Whatever it'll be, it'll be. That's just the way it is. Now, if you'd speak it upon you a little on the show, you goose it up there.
I would do what?
Hola.
Speak it in the right language on that show there.
I see.
Forget you're sitting in Dade County right now.
Yeah.
One thing here, man, they all speak English.
So I should move up there and my numbers will go up?
Even that Israeli group, although actually they were not speaking English, they were talking in Hebrew, and can't even explain to you how obnoxious and disgusting. And the woman, the reason that this all transpired is that it was very early in the morning. There were only two of us playing, me and this other very nice lady. She just hit $1,000 on the wheel. And she's sitting there waiting to get paid, and, oh, hey, Mazel Tov, here comes this guy with his entourage, Mazel Tov. And she was very impressed by that because she was Jewish. So obviously she was easy. Oh, are you Jewish? Yeah. And they're all Jewish, and they're all, Jewish to the point of being obnoxious about it. And now they all sit down, and they're like putting on this disgusting act. Next to me, the two machines to my left, which there's nobody playing, and they're not playing either. They're just sitting there taking up space and cowering over my shoulder and her shoulder.
And the place is empty.
Finally, I leaned over to her, and I said, I could speak some words Yiddish to them, too, but not the words that you... Oh, are you Jewish, too? I said, yeah, but what does that have to do with being Israeli?
So did you say Kaksahois?
And then she says, oh, but they have to be very aggressive over there. They just have to... I said, what does that have... See, this is the thing about ethnic... You know the old saying about birds of a feather flock together?
Yeah.
That's exactly correct. So whether it's Cubans in Miami, whether it's Jews from anywhere, whether it's blacks with OJ and everything is a racial thing, birds of a feather stick together, and it just makes me want to barf. God. I said to her, what does that have to do with the way you behave in public, the fact that they have to be aggressive? First of all, they're not over there right now. They're here, number one. And number two, that's just an excuse for rude, barbaric behavior. So I think at Woodbine I'm going to oversee a contest. The most obnoxious ethnic group, whether it's the curry-flavored Indian crowd, whether it's the Russians who are also, or the old Italians also loud and obnoxious, or now the Israelis who have thrown their big hat into the ring. They've thrown their kippah into the ring.
Is there any kind of Islamic population up there?
Are you kidding me? Is there any kind of Islamic population?
Boy!
Holy moly, man! You never got in a cab here?
Yeah, well, that's everywhere. The cab drivers.
Well, believe me, we've got terrorists in waiting all over the place. And see, that's the thing. That's why people are so stupid. Like, we saw the pictures of these 4 guys in London,
Yeah.
And there are 80 zillion people here who look just like that. They look exactly like that, or like the 19 on the 9/11, that crowd. I mean, so how do you know by looking at somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the British, with their brilliant intelligence over there, they said, oh, yeah, we looked at the one guy, and he said it wasn't worth pursuing. And then they lowered the terror alert in June.
Tell me
really right on top of it.
When you get on an airplane today,
yes.
Take a look at the people who are getting on the
Not
plane.
anymore. And I would say for about a year after 9/11, for about a year, I looked with 3 raised eyebrows at all of the people. I would survey each one of them and think to myself, uh-oh, that looks like a terrorist to me.
I still have a tendency to do that. I travel so much, when I get on a plane. I'm watching these people get on and say, well, can I handle this guy?
Yeah. I'm done. I'm finished. Not if he looks like Raul Martinez.
Oh, no. But he doesn't look like a terrorist. He just looks like a thug.
Yeah. Well, thugs are in Hialeah.
Well,
so what's happening?
I wouldn't know. I haven't been to Hialeah. There are 2 places I haven't been to in several years.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Hialeah since that incident with Raul. And I also haven't been south of Coral Gables since Andrew.
Well, that's a good idea. Now, what's happening with the slot thing in closing before we run into my first break here? What's happening with the slots?
Nothing recent. There's no new news.
Well, how is that possible? It's the 20th of July tomorrow.
I haven't seen a word or heard a word about it. So
I keep scouring the internets to see if I can find anything.
There's nothing there. I couldn't scour the internet here. It's been down for the last week.
No, but see, I'm back, so now you got it back. So just leave it to me.
It's all you. Has to be.
Duff waved her magic wand.
Yeah.
Just like that. There it is.
And the wand, too.
Right. Well, listen, it's Tuesday, so you probably have a pretty good assortment of places you can plunge your guts on Tuesday.
No, I'm plunging my guts on a new television today.
What is that? Oh, you're buying a new TV?
Yeah.
What kind?
I'm going to
HD, of course.
Yes, definitely HD. The guy's coming over from Sound Advice to make sure I get something that fits the...
well, what brand? I'm not talking about the size. What brand?
It's
Samsung.
Mitsubishi.
Oh. And what time is this going to take
Well,
place?
actually, I'm looking at two. I'm looking at a Mitsubishi, and I'm looking at a Sony.
Let me just. Oh, the Sony is. It's not HD. What do they call the Sony thing?
Yeah, but I told them I want HD.
What do they call that, George?
I don't know. Bill.
Yeah, you do.
Bill.
Philadelphia Park at 12:25. Calder at 12:50. Fort Erie. Kawartha Downs.
You know what?
Prairie Meadows. Mountaineer Park. Harness racing for Mohawk at 7:20. Georgian Downs in Australia at 10:20 tonight.
Let me tell you something. I have a weapon in my pocket. Okay.
Really?
Yes. I have
That's what Duff said too.
I have the wand. Anyway, I have a ticket from Sunday.
Yeah.
From Hollywood. I left early, and I hit the late pick 3 there for 4 digits.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a signer, and so when I go back to sign,
nothing could be finer than to cash in a big signer.
Yeah, but I'm going to wait till Saturday. I'm not going out there during the week.
Did I mention to you, do not ever go, I think I originally touted you to go there, don't ever go to Fallsview Casino, Niagara Falls.
Yeah, you told me
that. Don't go there.
About it.
Clip joint.
Yep. Did they respond? You wrote to them, didn't you?
Yeah, they called. She called me twice, and, we'd love to have you come back, and even if you don't want to gamble, we'd like to comp the room and the meals, and I feel so bad. Blah, blah. Now, why would I go schlep all the way to Niagara Falls to see water pushing over a bunch of rocks again that I've seen a million times? You know, once you see it once, it's very nice to see, and that's it. You know, what do I need to see that? So go back there for free meals?
But they
I don't
did
think
respond.
so.
I think that's.
Oh, they did. She called me twice.
Good for them.
Yeah. Screw them. Well, listen, and send it back to Israel, by the way. Oh, brother, those Israelis, I'm telling you right now, it's enough to make me sign up for the PL. Oh! Have a great day and don't lose too much. And Samsung, think about it.
I looked at the Samsung.
Oh boy,
it's a happy tune. We love the croon.
It's a great set, man. I'll tell you. When you watch now, this is your first HD set.
Yes.
When you watch a live sporting event on HD TV, man, it's a different experience. It's breathtaking.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And as a matter of fact, and I see the problem is you won't be home. Because you're going to be out covering the games, but like a football game. I mean, hockey is fantastic and baseball is amazing, but an NFL game in HD is just unbelievable.
Well, I can watch the opening Thursday night game on it.
There you go.
That's the whole idea.
You can watch the Patriots on their way to another Super Bowl.
7.5 over the Raiders, the first game.
Yeah, there you go.
Line's already. Can you imagine that the line is out? You haven't even started training camp.
I think we lost those Dolphin rights just in time, by the way. I'm not going to knock your friend Jimmy Syphilis again because that puts you in a bad position, but I'm still pissed off about that because it's so outrageous. It's so degrading.
Did you see Jim Sarney's line in Friday's?
Jim Sarney's nothing but and I know he's another one of your buddies.
I asked you about this one line that he had in Friday's paper. Did you see it?
I saw the line about the TV guy, Rich Waltz, about how he's getting better every game.
He wrote that now that they've added Matt Moore to the
that'll do it.
So now they have Matt Moore, Jimmy Cephalo, and Joe Rose.
Right.
And he said,
jocks.
He said all they're missing is a play-by-play guy.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Well, it's about time he wrote a line. Hey, Sarney, you're a tub of crap, man. And by the way, quit plugging. What's that 760 in Palm Beach that he's all whipped up about?
Got me.
That was the week ago Friday. He wrote a column.
I was out of town. I didn't see it.
Man. Just go back and, now that you got the internets back, go back and do a search on that thing on Sarney and read a week ago Friday's column.
He wrote about some guy
the best afternoon sports in South Florida is on 760 and West Palm, and this guy's just great. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. The disrespect that our people get in these newspapers, they ought to take Catherine Harris, Barry Jackass, and Jim Sarney and put them all in a very creaky small plane. Maybe the one that JFK Jr. was flying. God.
Why would you put Jim Sarney in there?
Why not? He's the Antichrist.
Oh.
He's a suck-up.
Okay.
Him and Jimmy Syphilis, all your buddies. Yeah. And Jimmy the Greek, too, even though he's still dead. Have a great day and pick the Samsung. Trust me.
I'll see you.
Bye.
Back in the church, I've constantly expressed my displeasure with leaks, particularly leaks of classified information, and I want to know. I want to know the truth. I want to see to it that the truth prevails.
Now it seems to us that Rove knew just what he said. Words are not just words. when an agent might get killed. Mr. President, will you do just what you said? And lock up Karl Rove for his treason, baby.
You stood at that podium and said that Karl Rove was not involved.
We don't want to see Karl no more. We don't want the country to pay for him. We'll be safer if you kick him out the door. Bush will make the White House more legit.
Contrary to what you told American people, he did indeed talk about his wife, didn't he?
There will be a time to talk about this, but now is not the time to talk about it.
All right. Well, we get good and ready, and of course we got to do that Supreme Court thing first. We got to get, obfuscate, cover it up, get it off the front page. It's bad for business. Hurry. Bad for killing business. More dead people in Iraq, by the way. 10:15 at QAM. It's already way past our first break time. Isn't that bad?
No, it's good.
I think if we did that crossover till about 11:30. Hey, Good Life Credit asks you this question. Do you know what's on your credit report? If not, remember this number, 866-625-0444. In fact, 80% of credit reports do contain errors that affect your credit score. And we all know the problems that come when you've got a bad credit score. It'd be bad. And if you ever try to contest an error that appears on your credit report, you know what a pain that can be. Good Life Credit is here to correct those errors. Good Life Credit's in-house attorneys will do all the work for you, and there are no setup fees either. Good Life Credit will order your credit report from the 3 major credit bureaus. They'll write the letters of discrepancies for you and straighten out any inaccuracies. So don't let somebody else's mistake cost you a high credit score. Before you visit the dealership or call the realtor, do yourself a humongous favor and call Good Life Credit. And right now, the first 10 callers will get a 10% discount. Just tell that Neil told you to call. Toll free, it's 1-866-625-0444. That's 1-866-625-0444, or on the web, on the internets, it's goodlifecredit.com.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560, QAM.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Tom Cruise, know-it-all.
Yay.
Hi there, welcome to Subway. How can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a 12-inch toasted meatball marinara sandwich?
You cannot eat that, chubby.
Tom Cruise? What are you doing in a Subway sandwich shop in Altoona?
Don't worry about that. You shouldn't eat that meatball hoagie. All it does is mask the problem. And if you understand the history of the meatball hoagie, it masks the problem. That's all it does. That's all it does.
But I'm at a Subway sandwich shop. It's all pretty healthy, right?
No, you see, here's the problem. You don't know the history of meatball hoagies. I do.
Tom Cruise! Know-it-all!
Hi there, welcome, Miss Sears. Is there anything I could do to help you?
Yeah, I was looking to buy a new Craftsman power drill.
What are you doing? You shouldn't buy that.
Tom Cruise? What are you doing in a Sears in Mechanicsville?
That's not your concern. I'm telling you, you shouldn't buy that power drill.
Hey, Tom, thanks, but I've got to get back to work. Not that I don't appreciate power drill advice from Tom Cruise.
You know what? You're glib. You don't even know what a power drill is. If you start talking about power drills, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, okay? That's what I've done. Then you go and say, where's the medical test on the power drills? Where's the blood test that say how much of the power drill you're supposed to get?
Stay tuned for another edition of Tom Cruise Know-It-All.
Anyway, isn't the Sony LCD, isn't that the one they make their HD set?
I'm on the Sony site now, as a matter of fact, and LCD is one of them, but I think you're thinking about XBR, possibly?
Sony XBR?
Well, that's
no.
a type of technology that they stick in some of their sets.
At any rate, when I bought my set, they warned me, don't get the Sony because it's got that screen door effect, you know? Sometimes you see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't really know that. I guess when you see it, you know it. Like porno, you can't define it. But
Right,
when
no,
you see it,
I know what they're talking about. It's like a grainy look where it looks like you're looking through a screen door.
If you could see the Samsung, in fact, when you go out and buy the one for Josh that you keep promising you're going to buy him,
I'll be hanging out at his house watching.
I would definitely get him the Samsung. In spite of what Gary Sarner says about it, because he's just... in fact, we're going to send him off to a kibbutz. He likes the kibbutz, so let's send him off to a kibbutz, the kibbutz. Hey, Gary.
Oh!
Anyway, we got a death. William Westmoreland is dead. Remember him?
I saw him. The Vietnam War.
Retired General William Westmoreland, who commanded U.S. forces during the Vietnam War from 64 to 68, advocated a strong military buildup at a time when American casualties were mounting when they brought 50,000 kids back in body bags. He's dead. All those other kids, they died, they never had a life, and now he's dead. Here it is, like all these years later. Westmoreland died yesterday of natural causes at Bishop Gadsden Retirement Home, where he lived with his wife and said his son James Ripley Westmoreland. He was 91. You see that? 91.
That's old enough.
All those other punks, they died. They were like 18 and 20 and 25 and whatever. And he's lived to 91. Murderer. Had almost as much blood on his hands as this current crop of Nazis we got. Speaking of blood on your hands, the assassination of that Iraqi diplomat or whatever that was, minister, evidently that story isn't important enough to make anybody's website, including CNN. They reported it like an hour ago. I've been surfing the internets for like the whole hour, and I can't find... but we at least got this one. Just to let you know, just like your vice president said, the insurgency is in its death throes. They're throwing death in every direction they can. Gunmen in 2 cars attacked a minibus, bringing workers to U.S. base in Iraq today, killing 13 more people. The minibus driver and 9 workers from the base were killed in the attack on Bakuba, just north of the capital, after the gunmen blocked the bus and opened fire. 3 other civilians died when the bus careened into their car, the police source said. So they're dying like flies over there, but everything is really under control. Here's George's poll from WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Who's this?
Who are you calling?
Well, I wasn't calling somebody where a man's voice was going to answer.
I beg your pardon?
Is this a radio station?
Yes.
Sorry. Bye.
I knew it. See, that's my psychic powers again. I was just in the middle of a sentence there, and I saw that line flash. I just want to make sure the phone was working, because we had some internet problems and phone problems. We had the usual QM technical difficulties, which just never seem to end. George's poll from yesterday, and I'm most amused by the result of this poll. They're trying to say something.
I have no life.
Right. Whose life would you like to see on TV? Neil Rogers. I even edged out Jenna Jameson. Wow, I feel like... In fact, let me just squeeze my breast here. I feel like 154 Neil Rogers. That should be real exciting for about 5 minutes. Jenna Jameson, 148. Now, they don't want to see her life on TV. They just want to see her naked on TV.
We were talking about that.
See her life.
You want to see her naked? Go get the DVD. What do you need to...
Or go to our website. We got 15 naked pictures of Jenna Jameson on our website today. On our beady-eyed curtain. Myself, 92. They'd like to see their own life on TV. 92, with ego problems. Hugh Hefner, 79. Well, all you got to do is watch Biography Channel. You'll see that. See, I don't get this. I would understand if it's people who you couldn't see their life story on TV, but Hugh Hefner, that thing's been on a million times. Right. Angelina Jolie, 65. See how she's doing down there in the basement. That would really be precious. Anna Cornaholia, 58. Bill Clinton, 57. George W. Bush, 54. Why? If they want to see George Bush's life on TV, let them just read that thing on our website. The World According to Bush. Mike Tyson, 32. Boy, I hadn't looked at this list. This is really bizarre. Shakira, 29. Again, they just want to see her naked.
Yeah.
Ann Coulter, 25. Karl Rove, 19. Tara Reid, 15. O.J. Simpson, 15. Bill O'Reilly and Tommy Cruise tied with 10 apiece. Rush Limbaugh, 9. Brad Pitt, 8. Miss Drudge. Hey, Matt.
You fairy.
You self-hating
you fairy.
homo.
You fairy.
7 for Miss Drudge.
You fairy.
John Ashcroft, 5. And Enrique Iglesias. Hey, Enrique.
You fairy.
5. So that's the result of your poll yesterday. Now, the big thing today, of course, before we get to today's poll, and we got like 75 naked pictures of Jenna Jameson on the beady-eyed curtain. See, we're going to have to start lying a lot. Then they'll click on, I can't find it. Where is it? Well, it's not really there, but just keep clicking it.
Click.
Yeah, get some action on that website. It's been really grim this summer. Of course, it all started on June 24th.
It's like an Easter egg. It's in there somewhere.
You can, right. Court speculation centers on female judges. All of a sudden, they were going to take their time and do deliberations and whatever they call it, due diligence. But the fact of the matter is that they got to cover up this whole Karl Rove and Scooter Libby business, because it's really embarrassing, and the media are pummeling poor Scott McClellan there, and deservedly so, by the way. They're getting tired of his stonewalling. They don't like it. They hate him like poison. Have you noticed that? Every day they just pummel him, and I just...
Punches to the face.
President Bush is close to making his first nomination to the Supreme Court, and Washington was abuzz with speculation today about Judge Edith Clement of the U.S. Court of Appeals in New Orleans. There was no word from the White House on when he would disclose it, but officials said an announcement is imminent. Imminent. Any second now. My desire is to get the process moving so that somebody will be confirmed. Whoever he or she is will be confirmed by October when the court reconvenes, Bush said yesterday. White House officials who spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk publicly about the process said Bush's timetable appears to have been accelerated. I can't imagine why, can you? And that a choice could come as early as today.
It's just a coincidence.
Known as a conservative and a strict constructionist in legal circles, Clement has also eased fears among abortion rights advocates because she has stated that the Supreme Court has clearly held the right to privacy guaranteed by the Constitution includes the right to have an abortion, and that the law is settled in that regard. How do you like that? That's not going to be... The right-wingers are going to be foaming at the mouth. They're going to be bombing abortion clinics again. They're going to be so pissed off.
Of course, she could just be saying that.
Yeah, she could just, give them a little head fake there. You never know. That happens a lot.
Yeah.
When in doubt, fake them out. But anyway, that's imminent any second now, so that they can get the headlines, take the headlines away and get the focus, hocus pocus, and all this crap about, well, he really wants to know when we're through the investigation, and he's out there, doing photo ops with Karl Rove on a White House lawn, like they're not speaking to each other. They have to have the investigation before he really finds out what was going on there.
Yeah.
Like it's some big mystery. Of course, most everything is a big mystery to him.
People are dying over Sonny, too.
Okay, we'll get to our sex survey, and it's not really a poll today, it's a survey. Is what it is.
It's scientific.
28 past 10 at 560 WQM. We got Geldy for Mo. No Mo today. Mad Dog at 4 to 7, 3 solid hours, because the Marlins are on the West Coast out there, almost the West Coast, Arizona. Curtis Stevenson, 7 to 9:05 when you got the Marlin pregame show. Marlins at Arizona at 9:40. And, of course, Marlins lost in 11 last night, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Well, we're sorry to say that. They're like kind of staggering right now.
Yeah, they're below 500 now.
They're staggering. They're a game under 500. Are they in last place alone or tied with the Mets still?
Oh, they're tied. They're
tied with the Mets for last place. Well, Jack McKeon. Well, yeah, all he did is win the World Series a couple of years ago, but oh. Anyway, did you get a good night's sleep last night? Were you tossing and turning all night like Bobby Lewis? If you're tired of that small, cramped bed, it's time for you to step up to a new queen or king-size bed from our good friends at Dial a Mattress. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from Florida's largest inventory of queen and king-size beds ready for same-day delivery. And like always, you still get to choose the date and time in a 2-hour window 7 days a week between 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. You pick it, like noon to 2, 1 to 3, and they show up right on time. Dial a Mattress carries the complete line of all the top names in the mattress business: Sealy, Serta, Simmons, King Coral, Stearns, and Foster Hewitt. And their everyday low prices and deep stock make your mattress shopping a breeze. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll be talking to an expert bedding consultant who listens to your needs, will suggest a style and comfort level that's perfect for you. They know the bedding business because that's all they sell. Just about all of us at QM have been sleeping for years like a baby on a Dial a Mattress bed. You ought to be doing the same. If the old mattress has had it, when in doubt, toss it out. And call 1-800-MATTRESS or check them on the web at mattress.com. Dial a Mattress, 1-800-MATTRES. Be sure and tell them that Fat Boy told you to call. Like I said, be sure and tell them.
Fat Boy. Biggest personality. Neil Rogers. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
How do the Hollywood stars stay so thin?
Short and skinny, but she's strong.
Now you can learn their secrets.
I've been on a diet every day since I was 19.
From the director of Dancing with the Stars.
She's stuffed up, achy, and suffering from intense malaise.
It's Getting Bulimic with the Stars.
I'm so excited. I'm about to barf.
I feel like vomiting.
Makes me want to puke. She's going to go in the bathroom and throw up.
Getting Bulimic with the Stars. Parental regurgitation advised.
I got puke on.
There is vomit and dookie everywhere.
There's some vomit on the back steps with your name on it.
I absolutely want to puke.
Want to go right ahead.
All right.
How do you like that? Little blast from the past there. Old Depot. Boy, we sure miss Old Depot. Anyway, here's the poll today. Which of these applies to you? And what do we got? We got, not too bad, actually. Not too shabby. Put this one up there around 8:30. We got 291 votes. Which of these applies to you? And, of course, I don't want to get into this discussion with you again because it's really worn out. You know what I'm saying? In other words, you got your opinion and based on ignorance, and I got my opinion. Now, see, when you start talking about gay and bisexual sex, it would be like my giving a seminar on heterosexual sex, which I wouldn't dream of, because I have no opinion because I have no experience.
You know, rich guys pretend they're girlfriends.
That would be like a Catholic priest giving advice, marriage counseling to heterosexuals.
I have an opinion about heterosexuals, all right? Yeah. And you've never had sex with any.
291 votes. I'm 100% heterosexual male. No gay experiences. 184. Let's hear it. You fair those people. 184. They're absolutely pure. 100% like Ivory soap. Don't drop it. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse. 34. I'm surprised it's not more than that. And like I told you before the show, it would be a lot more than that if we still had the beady-eyed curtain up there.
They're gone.
Yeah, they're gone now. That's why they're not voting on our website. 34 couldn't get laid in a whorehouse. I'm a heterosexual man who's had at least one sexual experience with a male. 34, 11.6%. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experiences, 16. I'm a gay male who has had sex with a woman, 6. I'm really a bisexual male, 5. The reason I put really on there is because that article we had a couple weeks ago that says there's no such thing as bisexual, really? Well, I don't, whatever. Really a bisexual male, 5. Really? I'm a gay male, never had sex with a woman, 5. I'm really a bisexual female, 4. Really? I'm a lesbian, never had sex with a man, 2. And I'm a heterosexual female who has had lesbian sex, 1.
Oh, my God.
Jeez. The world's coming to hell in a handbasket. And, of course, you know about that vice president's lesbian daughter.
What about her?
I don't know, something. Well, that guy, that minister, that preacher man, that right-wing nutjob, he's all PO'd at the vice president. And he's PO'd at the president for picking a vice president with a lesbian daughter. He could have picked somebody like Alan Keyes, or, Phyllis Shoefly, or Ronald Reagan. Well, that fruitcake is on MSNBC all the time. Why don't they just shut that thing off? Is there anybody else out there that ever watches that?
No.
And then they put that Mother Tucker Pie Carlson bow tie guy, Pie Tie Carlson on there at night, and nobody ain't watching that thing. They just give it up already, will you? It's tragic. An American Airlines flight from Fort Lauderdale to San Juan, Puerto Rico has been diverted after a passenger found a suspicious note written on a napkin behind her tray table, an FBI spokeswoman told the Certainly Not News Network. According to FBI Special Agent Judy Orjuela, American Airlines Flight 605 took off from Fort Lauderdale at 6:38 last night. About 40 minutes into the flight, a note saying, "Bomb, bomb, bomb, meet the parents," was found on a crumpled napkin with a wad of chewing gum on it.
Huh?
Maybe it was like they were just writing the lyrics to La Bamba. You think that was it, just to kill some time?
Okay.
Where was this going? It was to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Well, that explains it. The pilot was informed of the note, and the plane returned to the airport. It turned tail, where it was met by the bomb squad from the BSO. After a sweep of the plane and questioning, the 176 passengers were returned to the terminal about 11 o'clock at night, and they thought it was terminal. According to the American Airlines website, passengers were expected to arrive in San Juan about 5 hours later than scheduled. The note could be a reference to the 2000 movie Meet the Parents, which starred Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro.
Exactly.
In the film, Stiller's character rejects a flight attendant's efforts to check his bag. Orwell told CNN the FBI is investigating the source of the note, whether the seat had been occupied on a previous flight. The investigation is continuing. How do you like that? Not that they're jumping or anything like that, you understand. Una baba grande, baby. I know. You notice how Hank almost jumped out of his seat when I said that Jim Sarney ought to be on that plane with Catherine Harris and Barry Jackass? Well, he's a buddy with Jim Sarney, okay? And I don't care if Sarney did finally have a clever line in there, which I did read that. That was nice going there, Sarney, you tub of garbage. But he's always hyping any other station that puts on sports stuff. You know, and this guy on the station nobody ever heard of in Palm Beach and all this. And then, of course, this crap about Rich Waltz is improving every day. No, he's not. He's the same. He's unqualified. He's incompetent. He's terrible. He's bad. And you just don't have the balls to give a critique, to really say anything. And then he took that fandom poll that disappeared, and we're waiting for the poll on Roxy Foxy, which was promised, but you don't have the balls to put that on there. Because he knows that we'll take good care of that one. Although we like Roxy because he works on our station, right?
Oh, yeah.
We like everybody. Well, almost everybody on our station. Speaking of stations, WXRK, K-Rock, New York-based syndicated morning host Howard Stern. See, these websites, R&R and FMQB, they're all the way up Howard's ass, you know? Both of them. So anytime he farts, man, they're the first ones to smell it and describe the flavor. They're just obsessed. Anyway, Howard Stern this morning returned from his 2-week vacation by having a David Lee Roth impersonator, reportedly Billy Myra, replace him. Stern took to the airwaves during 7 a.m. hour to reveal that he pulled a fast one on listeners. However, the host said it's a done deal that David Lee Roth would likely replace him in New York in September, while Adam Carolla would reportedly take Stern affiliates in markets including L.A. and San Diego. Infinity Vice President of Communications Karen Mateo tells R&R that the company continues to look at a number of different personalities to replace Howard Stern. However, there are no imminent announcements at this time. But, of course, he let the cat out of the bag. Nice going, Howie. Stern added fuel to the fire by calling into his own show at 6:45 a.m. to tell the fake Roth that he disapproved of Viacom letting him go after 20 years with Infinity without allowing him to say goodbye to his listeners properly. Oh, jeez. Are you following this, the drift of this thing? One of those fake shows? The fake Roth also spoke with sidekick Robin Quivers and then welcomed WXRK General Manager Tom Cusano, who remarked that he was pleased the former Van Halen frontman was there now, as he could sleep in later, wouldn't have to come in early to man the dump button. You mean they gotta have him come in and man the dump button just like Muff used to? Oh, brother. Holy moly, rat man, what's it all about? I'll tell you one thing for Stern, I hope Howard gets on. I hope they get that series thing going real fast.
Yeah.
Before the fall, because you just know that once Congress reconvenes, they're going to start that crap. Oh, we're going to start censoring cable and satellite radio and TV, whatever we can censor, you know, whatever we can get away with. Right. No, based on the fact that they said so.
Oh.
Based on the fact that they just make it up as they go along, and the public just rolls over, just like the thing you just played. They roll over and play dead. And that's the way it works in America, because Americans are worried about important things like the runaway bride and that Aruba missing chick and all of these very important things, man. And, of course, all these home improvement shows. Well, what is that about? Of all these so-called reality shows, that one bugs me the most.
Those are reality shows?
I don't know. I mean,
or
how
to do it. How to do it.
God, how to paint your house and how to,
riveting. Well, I guess if you do that kind of stuff.
19 to 11 at 560. Don't forget, no mo today. There's a day to be a reason to be happy on Tuesday, July 19. No mo. We'll be back tomorrow, but we got Geldy today. I'm sure he's going to be whipped up about this hockey settlement, man. That's what everybody's buzzing about, aren't they? Not. Randy Shoes is having a huge wall-to-wall sale. Every single pair of shoes in the store is on sale right now. Nothing is being held back. Choose from Rockport, Florsheim, New Balance, Naturalizers, Sperry Topsiders, Teva, Timberland, SAS, all famous name brands, all of these things. Men's sizes 6 to 15, women's sizes 5 to 12, and widths from very, very narrow to very wide. And don't forget, Brandy's carries a humongous selection of wide widths, too. There's never been a sale of this magnitude at Brandy's Shoes, and sale or no sale, they always treat you like royalty with their experienced, courteous sales staff. So hurry in and take advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime wall-to-wall sale. New shipments arriving daily will be included in this event. While you're at Brandy's, register free to win fabulous prizes. No purchase necessary. Randy Shoes, you'll find them in that same great location. They've been doing great things for years and years. 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach, just south of Sears and Lowe's, open daily 9 to 9, Sunday 10 to 5. But whatever you do, don't miss out on Brandy's biggest store-wide sales event in 25 years going on right now. Fabulous savings on all the top brands, Florsheim, SAS, Sebago, and lots more. Hurry into the store this week or visit them and do your shoe shopping right online on the internets at brandyshoes.com.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers Middays. Sports Radio 560, QAM.
Exploding balls.
She's very able to speak a sentence, can't tie her shoes without help. She thinks that buffaloes really have wings. The girl thought tuna fish was made from chickens in the sea. She's smoking hot from head to toe, but her IQ is 3. Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson. She's ditzy, not too bright, kinda clueless. I think she rode the short bus, and crossword puzzles give her a headache. Well, she can't do addition without using her fingers. But when I dream about the perfect booty, it is hers. Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson.
She thinks Prince Albert's in his hand. She sticks her finger in a band. The girl can't even spell Iran.
Yeah, Jessica Simpson. Ridiculously simple. Afraid to pop a pimple. But she looks great in her short daisy suit.
Here, I'm looking at this poll. Did I leave some category out?
Let me look.
Lesbian who has had sex with a man? Did I leave that out?
Yeah. That's not.
Well, you better add that on there right away. I bet you get a whole bunch of those. How many do you think we're going to get?
About 30, man.
Yeah, right.
2.
Right. It's more like it. Okay, we can take some calls today because, let's face it, we might, although this is not a building poll, thank God for that. I'm sure you've had some real intellectuals calling the last few days.
Oh, all of them.
567-0560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless lines. Okay, they might as well get a call or two because we got the phone working. I don't see any on there right at the moment.
No.
They're there. William Westmoreland, he's still dead. He was 91 and he's dead. Boy, he was really a hard-ass piece of crap. Not as hard-ass as Jim Sarney, though. Yeah, all they need now is a play-by-play guy. That's very cute, Sarney. All these years, he finally came up with a line. But anyway, Hank likes his buddies. 567, this is our last call for calls, and I'm going to go right through my pile, okay, which I should be through.
There you go, there's Ron there.
I beg your pardon?
There's Ron on the phone.
How do you know that?
He's usually the first.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, nothing happened.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
I'm punching. Oh, there it is. QAM, hello.
Good morning, how are you?
Pretty good. This isn't Ron. This isn't for you. You're not popping Prozac, are you?
No, I'm not Ron.
Good, thank God.
All right. I'm in the market also for a television right before the football season is about to start. So
Right.
you're saying Samsung is the best before Mitsubishi, and I should go DHP instead of LCD or plasma?
Correct.
Okay.
That's all my own opinion. I mean, I looked at all of them, and I got my Samsung. I've had it for several months now. Boy, the picture quality is it's like live. It couldn't possibly like looking through a piece of painted glass.
Right, because I've gone to a couple of these different stores, and it's a scam, and they're trying to upsell you, downsell you.
Yeah.
Take your underwear off.
Right.
I'm tired sometimes, and I'm tired of shopping around. I said, well,
Samsung is a great set. I'll tell you that right now. I give it my absolute enthusiastic endorsement.
Okay, sir. Then that decision is made. Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck to you. There you go. See, Samsung. Isn't that something by Neil Diamond? Samsung Blue.
Samsung
Blue. Oh, I can't stand Neil Diamond. I'm not sure if I dislike. Hey, now, is he Jewish? Somebody told me he was Jewish. Neil Diamond is Jewish. Oh,
very, very
Jewish. Oh God, no wonder I hate him. 567. No, seriously, this Israeli thing I've had. I'm sure that there's some nice Israeli people. I just had never met any yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Shai is a very nice guy.
Oh, that's right. He's a good guy. So I take that back. He seems like a real nice guy. I haven't had like a lot of verbal intercourse with him, but he seems okay. But that experience I had with getting a tire years ago down there in Broward, I don't want to say where, but with an Israeli businessman who was a real shyster and ripped me off. That was bad. And then this experience at Woodbine with these obnoxious, nasty, loud, old bubachkis, man. Just, get off my back. If I wanted to bring a parakeet out, I had one on my shoulder already. Get out of here. And, of course, you had your experience there with your car repair with an Israeli businessman. You know what they say about doing business with an Israeli?
No. What?
Don't.
See.
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, when is anybody going to out Carl for being gay, right? You know what I mean?
Does he have a wife?
Huh?
Does he have a wife?
He doesn't have a wife.
Really?
No, he's single.
He's single and likes to mingle?
Correct.
Wow.
And he hangs out, and his buddy George likes to kiss guys and walk hand in hand with them. These guys are the biggest bunch of fruitcake
Yeah.
in
Guys,
the world.
not only guys, but guys who wear a dress.
There was an article. It's like one of your articles. What was it last week? It's just like he's in denial or something. They're just. It's
He's
drinking
with
is denial.
Cleopatra
The
in
war is
denial.
denial.
All these
Everything.
people. Ann Coulter, none of these people. And what about Condoleezza?
Correct.
What about Condoleezza?
They're all a bunch of flamers.
There you go. You got it, man. You got your thumb on it. In fact, there's an article I don't want to even dignify by responding. Condoleezza, there's a group now want her to run for president in 2008.
Oh,
Condoleezza.
Please do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
What can we do to help?
Hey, listen to Charlie Crist if he can be the governor of Florida.
You fairy.
Right? It's a new thing now. Although it's interesting looking at this poll since everyone assumes always that anybody who listens to the Neil Rogers show is some kind of a flamer. But you got 341 votes. Now, if you take those four categories, let's see, lesbian with a man, no, we just put that on there. Lesbian never had sex with a man at 0.8%. Gay male who has had sex with a woman, 2.3%. And gay male who never had sex with 1.4%. So you got about 4% of the audience identifies themselves as gay. Yeah. How do you like that?
Okay.
As opposed to some of these people think, oh, well, the Neil Rogers show, only faggots listen to that. Well, of course. Right. WQAM, hello.
Neil, my God, my Lord.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I have to agree with you on them home shows. My wife watches them all day. It makes
Why?
me nauseous.
Why is that?
Those home shows make me nauseous.
Yeah. But why does she watch them?
I don't know. I guess she has these ideas about doing stuff to the house, and it inspires her or something.
Really?
I have no idea. She'd TiVo it if she could.
I watched the whole hour show on the Food Network last night about ice cream, and I did not go out and get any.
Oh. Hey, listen, I voted on the poll, but my wife said I voted wrong. I voted I was 100% male, right? But I was with in a threesome with a girl and a guy. So what is that? What is that?
Well, so the obvious question is, did you touch him or not?
No, we didn't cross any swords or nothing.
Well, there you go. So you're okay. You're still,
I'm cool.
You're still safe.
Kept your honor.
Good luck, you pal. Get out of here. Hey, I forgot to mention something, Ann.
You fairy.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't. Oh yeah, about the show on Food Network last night. Boy, that was such a bad show. And of course, me being the ice cream addicted lunatic that I am, I thought it was going to be very interesting, and it was not.
Nope.
And they show these different shops. One place in Texas where they got 24 flavors of soft serve ice cream and how they make it, and all these different places around the country where they have these different specialties. And India, people from India who have an ice cream shop. I love that curry flavor is my favorite. Well, actually, it looked pretty good.
They were.
And
really...
then they did the Ben and Jerry's thing.
You're
coming up
kidding
with
about
new
that, right?
flavor. About what?
The curry ice cream?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it wasn't curry, but it was like saffron. No, they were really funky flavors, but saffron. Well, in order to continue that aroma, man, you got to eat a lot of that funky smelling stuff.
Partly.
What's this thing about Michael Mayo's commentary that somebody just faxed? Oh, it's about Steve Kane. I'm not interested. Okay, don't care. Mr. Ego, nobody cares. And if you look at the writing on there, it's one of our chronic faxes.
Hey, that's all we got.
Get a life.
I have no life.
Get out of my face with this garbage. I was just about to tell you something very important.
Okay,
and that is that and then they quoted some national poll. I mean, everybody's got polls. You know, they got polls up the old nose. And it was about the 5 most popular flavors. It was a nationwide poll taken very recently. What are the 5 most popular flavors of ice cream? And there was the guy who hosted this show on Food Network. He's sitting there at the counter in some ice cream joint, and he's got, the Sunday, what do you call those Sunday glasses? A Sunday glass.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever they call it, an ice cream dish Sunday. So anyway, he's got the ice cream in the 5, and the first one, number 5, is Neapolitan. And I said to myself,
oh my God.
Only Goyim eat Neapolitan. I mean, that's little kids. Only Goyish little kids eat that.
And by the way, it's the worst of all 3, the stuff that's in there.
What do you mean by that?
No matter which one you like, it's like very industrial whenever you get Neapolitan.
Oh, well, Neapolitan is industrial. That's the whole idea of it.
Ugh.
For people who can't make up their mind. Strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. That was number 5. Number 4 was butter pecan, so they must have interviewed a lot of dark folks. Butter pecan. Number 3, the 3rd most popular ice cream in America was strawberry. Number 2 was chocolate, and number 1 is I've been screaming for so long, and of course, as usual, I was
absolutely correct.
Was vanilla. Oh God, please gag me with a prune. Vanilla is the most popular flavor of ice cream in America, and like I always tell you, delicious but no taste, none. And they're going to say, well, what about those vanilla bean? Yeah. How about Billy Bean? Hey, Billy.
Who? You fairy.
Anyway. Very sad. Those are the 5 most popular. See, I can understand that 50 years ago, before we had all these new designer flavors, before Ben and Jerry came down the pike in 1978, before we had all these really sensational flavors that are available now. But there's the same old boring pedestrian. Now you're beginning to understand what's wrong with America. Maybe that's why we got this president. Bad taste. The public has got... You can't complain about American taste because 50% don't have any. Stop and think about it. Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, butter pecan, and Neapolitan. If I never had any of those again in my life, it would be fine with me.
Right.
If I never saw any of them again, I'd be felling from it. I'd be doing a Kazatsky. I'd be doing the horror with my Israeli friends from Woodbine. Seriously, they were so annoying and so grotesque and so obnoxious that I wanted to shoot their tzitzes off. 10:56 at 560 WQM. Hey, racing fans, Pompano Park Racing and Poker is gearing up for its final 3 weeks of live harness racing and poker before they take a short 3-way break in mid-August. Every Wednesday is dollar night with draft beer, soda, hot dogs, and other food items, just $1 a piece, plus the start of the Sunshine Steak Series for Florida-bred trotters and pacers. By the way, congratulations to Brian Sears for winning the Meadowlands Pace with Rock and Roll Hanover. Saw that Saturday night. Nice going, Brian. And, of course, there are great poker tournaments each afternoon and evening in the poker room with free drawings to win betting vouchers every live racing day in the poker room from 4 to 7 p.m. Friday is Superfecta Friday with Superfecta wagering in every race. Then this Saturday, July 23rd, there will be free drawings to win a 32-inch color TV and or betting vouchers after every live race. It pays to come and play at Pompano Park Racing and Poker, located just about a half mile from both 95 and the Florida Turnpike. Pompano Park is easy to get to, and best of all, Pompano Park offers you free admission and free general parking every day. Live harness racing in the poker room, open every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. The poker room is open from noon till midnight. Live racing gets underway nightly at 7:25 in the p.m. Pompano Park, a block south of Atlantic Boulevard on Powerline Road. For the current racing schedule, go online at pompanopark.com or call 954-972-2000.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560 KSUAM.
Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Twinkle, twinkle, little Kim, 1 year sentence in prison. To the grand jury you lied, $50,000 fine. Twinkle, twinkle, little Kim, show your boobs on red carpet.
All right. It's 11:01 at 560 WQAM. Happy Tuesday to you. 381 votes on the poll. Not too shabby, I would say. Josh, we got a shot.
Oh, we got a shot.
At 5,600 today. Which of these apply? Well, it's not a poll. I mean, this isn't something you have to have an opinion on. Although, of course, a lot of people are very, like that other guy who was in a three-way, and he's very concerned about it. I think he really was.
You fairy.
Which of these applies to you? I'm 100% heterosexual male, no gay experiences, 229, 60.5% of the astute Neil Rogers audience. I'm a heterosexual male who has had at least one sexual experience with a male, 46, 12.1%. And George says,
you fairy.
Don't label me.
I couldn't be laid in a whorehouse, 44. Well, we've met those. That must be, let's see, the guy with the eyes, and then, of course, and don't forget Prozac Ron. And, of course, Robert Grieper. I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experiences, 22. Well, thank God for that. We have no women listening to this show. It's just so disconcerting. I'm really a bisexual male. Really? 10. Really? Yeah, I'm a gay male who has had sex with a woman, 9. Oh, and you know what I saw over the weekend? You're going to be really PO'd, because I keep forgetting to go and get it for you.
What's that? North by Northwest.
I saw it twice. It was on...
I saw the Day the Earth Stood Still for sale, and I didn't buy it for Josh.
North by Northwest. Outstanding. And it's a very long movie, too. James Mason's in it, not Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint. James Mason, who else is in there? Some Leo, what's the guy from Topper? Leo Gwynn, was that his name?
Topper.
Don't you remember the TV show Topper?
No.
Oh, come on, you watch the nostalgia show, the oldie shows?
I do.
Okay. Ask Boca Brian. Happy birthday to Boca Brian, the only person living I know who actually had a interstate named after him, I-95, after his birthday. Happy 95th. I'm a gay male who has had sex with a woman, 9. I'm really a bisexual female, really, 5. I'm a gay male, never had sex with a woman, 5. That was my vote, never. Oh, God. I'm a lesbian, never had sex with a man, 3. I'm a heterosexual female who has had lesbian sex, 3. And I'm a lesbian who has had sex with a man, 2. See that little mix and match? They're all over the place. Isn't that great?
Lovely.
It's a survey to try to prove something. I'm not really sure. Sure what?
Whatever. To kill a day.
I thought it was a fine poll. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, that name is Leo Carrillo.
Was that his name? The guy from Topper?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
That sounds familiar. I thought Leo Carrillo was...
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I thought that was the Cisco Kid. What was his name?
Who? The Cisco Kid.
The Cisco Kid. Don't be giving me this who crap, okay? Just because he's a beaner.
The song?
The Cisco Kid. Better look it up. Do a Google on it. CISCO. Cisco Kid. Yes. Who played I thought it was Carrillo. Joe Carrillo. Well, I like saying that. Joe Carrillo. I just love rolling my R's like that. George likes rolling them. 5670560, pound 560. Leo Carrillo, that may have been it. Anyway, he was in North by Northwest. That's not the point. It was a Hitchcock movie. It was very suspenseful. And the closing scene in the movie, without giving anything away, takes place right on Mount Rushmore as they're climbing down the faces of Mount Rushmore to escape.
Yeah, you're right, by the way.
What?
Leo Carrillo.
Was what?
Was Pancho in the Cisco Kid.
Oh, but he wasn't the Cisco Kid. See, Leo Carrillo has got nothing to do with it. Look up Topper, the TV show Topper.
Okay.
And you'll find the cast, I'm sure. Okay, keep you off the street. 5-6. I can't believe you never saw Topper.
Never.
That was an ancient show. I mean, you've seen Ozzie and Harriet, right?
No.
You've seen Mike Stuckey's Pantomime Quiz.
No.
You've seen Maury Amsterdam on The Tonight Show.
No.
This is great. Are you looking up Topper? What do we got? I'm not going to mention it. It's embarrassing. What did I say the name of that movie was? Blood something or other?
Blood Sausage.
No, with Blood Sausage. Don't eat that. With Donald Sutherland.
It's
what is
Leo
it?
Carroll.
Leo Carroll. See, the guy was very close. Leo Carrillo, but that's a different guy. Leo Carroll. There you go, Pally. So guess what? Bad mistake. WQAM, hello.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Is Neil there?
Speaking.
Neil, it's Leo G. Carroll, isn't it?
That's the guy. He was the guy from Topper and North by Northwest. Did you see North by Northwest?
No, I didn't.
Go out and get it.
Okay.
Cary Grant's in it, by the way. Hey, Cary.
You fairy.
Rhymes with fairy and Mary. See, now there's a good example for you. Cary Grant had several wives and was notoriously... Who was it that he was supposedly involved with? Oh, jeez. I forget. He was a real swashbuckler.
I don't know. Who was his beard?
It wasn't Danny Kaye. Danny Kaye was like doing Sir Laurence Olivier. See how it all rhymes? Olivier, Danny Kaye, and rhymes. Those are just rumors, of course. Line 9, WQAM, hello. Hasn't he died yet? Oh, are we going to have a celebration or what? I'll dance on that one's grave. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing? I just want to say Martin Landau was in there, too.
That's right, and he was really creepy. He was Leonard.
Absolutely. Actually, they just had a thing about Cary Grant I was watching. That guy he was a piece of work also. All right, I'll let you go.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, Cary Grant, he was all over the place. I'm trying to think who his boyfriend, was. Somebody, was it? No, not one of the Barrymores. Maybe it was Drew Barrymore. What about that Tom Green? What do you really think about Tom Green?
Yeah, I don't know. He's an enigma.
He's kind of a nut. Well, he used to be anyway. That whole thing with that marriage to Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
These people that get married for like 5 minutes, I'm not buying it. She did say half a loaf is better than none.
Is that right?
And she wasn't talking about bread. 5670560, pound 560. I don't know why I'm taking so many calls today. I just feel like it, when you're out of practice. Always good to take a little batting practice on the phone.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
WQAM, hello.
Neil?
Yes, sir.
That guy was so wrong. You're right. Leo Carrillo was a Hispanic cowboy actor. It was on the Cisco Kid.
Right.
He wasn't on Topper. You're right. Thanks.
All righty then.
You see? It's a whopper, man, that Topper. And I know there was some kind of a funky dog on that show, too, I think. I don't recall real well. There was also a funky dog on the Three Stooges. Not the Three Stooges, the Little Rascals.
Yes, there was.
For some reason, I always get the Three Stooges confused. Oh, that's right, Charles Bronson.
You sent him a bitch.
I mean, Robert Blake. He was in the Little Rascals, right? Robert Blake?
Yes, he was.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, it was Jim Neighbors with Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
No.
We all knew that.
What a shock that is.
So
Next he's going to be telling me it was Natalie Wood with Robert Wagner. By the way, Natalie, some swimming lessons would be good. Saw her bio the other night. She was not a good actress at all.
No, but
she was very attractive.
She was
Everybody
pretty
liked her a lot.
right?
She was very pretty, and Robert Wagner was also very pretty in his early days. But
then he
put on the eye patch. He got in there with Austin Powers. And then he got so old that Rob Lowe had to come in. Speaking of... now there's another one for you, okay? They married him off. They married off David Cassidy. All of these guys get married off, and some of them it's just like you say, a beard, but some of them are actually doing stuff and actually procreating.
Right. Well, they call that bisexual.
No, they call that social pressure.
Okay.
That's what they call it.
All right.
Enormous social pressure.
Absolutely.
In other words, Tom Cruise may have actually done Nicole Kidman, maybe once or twice.
Who do you think he's thinking about while he's doing that?
Tom Cruise, who is he thinking about?
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
The guy that was with
the lady.
Cary Grant was Zachary Scott.
Zachary Scott, that's right.
Right, that's right.
And that's the reason I couldn't. No, not Zachary Scott. It was that who it is?
Yeah.
Randolph Scott.
Right, Randolph Scott.
Not
That's right.
Zachary
Zachary
Scott.
was
Randolph
his
Scott.
brother.
Right.
All right, hang
I heard
on.
he was his kissing cousin. Okay, thanks a lot, sweetheart, and sober up. Randolph Scott, who was a very famous actor back in the day, 180 years ago. See, this is what happens when you get old. Just like Boca Brian, who just turned 125, you start becoming outdated, Although I'll never become old like the old folks in South Florida. I could be 110, but I just there's something about that.
They're fossilized.
Is that what it is? You got your old green tooth crowd, then you got your old Yiddish crowd. You know, if they love Israel so much, there's planes leaving all the time. El Al is flying like crazy. They got real good security. We'll see you. We'll pack you a salami sandwich, kosher for Pesach, and get out of here already. Same with the old green tooth crowd.
Sure.
You know, come up to Canada, get on a plane. They're flying to Cuba every hour on the hour.
Pick a country and
right.
care about
pick
that.
Pick your nose, pick a country, and then pick some dingleberries. I was thinking about that the other day, about Mo. The old dingleberry kid. Yeah, that Leo Carrillo, he was in the Cisco Kid, and Mo is going to be in the Dingleberry Kid. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. Let me shut my radio. The dog on Toppers was a St. Bernard named Neil.
Really?
Yeah.
Neil, God.
How do you like that?
Yeah, and the dog on Little Rascals was named Petey.
Now, that's the one that had the circle around the eye, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of those
shop at Circle
pit
K.
bulls with a circle, but the Topper dog was a St. Bernard, and his name was Neil.
Well, that show was on. That was one of the real early TV, man.
Yeah.
It was like early 50s.
Yeah, 1953 to 1956.
That was almost as good as Life of Riley.
Yeah.
Okay, Pally, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Say hi to the dogs. Now, you saw Life of Riley with William Bendix and whatever her name was.
No.
And what his neighbor Gillis.
Dobie?
Remember Dobie Gillis? No, that was not the same Gillis.
Oh.
I like Dobie Gillis a lot. What was his name and his brother's name? Dwayne Hackman, and what was the other one? Gene Hackman. No. Daryl Hackman.
I thought it was Hickman.
And then there's always Daryl Hannah. Huh?
I thought it was Hickman.
What did I say?
Hackman.
Hackman? No, Hickman. You're right.
Okay.
But you don't even know who the hell they were.
No, I don't.
Knew what it was. Well, that's very good.
I just heard the name in passing.
Yeah, well, you know, when you hang around with a lot of old people, that's what happens. 12 minutes after 11 at 560. I mean, if I was the old man 20 years ago, what am I now? The fossil. The fossil.
Neil, God.
It's okay. Don't kid yourself. How's that poll coming? We got any dikes? I mean, what do we got? 417 people on the survey. We could make 1,000 today, Josh. What do you say? Should we put the big... I mean, it's not a poll. You're just like checking in, like on the Jerry Witcher show. Hi, Jerry. It's Chubby checking in. I wonder if all those old people are dead who used to call Jerry Witcher. I would think so. I mean, he is.
We can only hope.
In fact, he was dead while he was doing the show the last 2 or 3 years. He was a real piece of work. It's 11:13 at 560 WQAM. For years, Armstrong Ford Homestead has always treated everybody like family, and right now they want to extend an offer to you to join their family. Ford has just announced their Ford Family Plan. That's correct. Right now at Armstrong Ford Homestead, you can buy a vehicle at employee discount prices. Now through July 31, Armstrong Ford Homestead gives you the same great pricing every Ford Motor Company employee and their families get. Not only do you get employee family pricing, but you also still get Armstrong Ford's exclusive Tires and Batteries for Life program. And for a limited time with any new car purchase, you'll get a color TV free. So what are you waiting for? Pick up that phone right now and call David Rich at 305-247-5112. You won't get a better deal on a Ford anywhere. No bait and switch, no phony deals. Don't forget now, this fantastic offer is available only at Armstrong Ford Homestead, where they always treat you just like family. Armstrong Ford is proud to be locally owned and operated. Vice President and GM David Rich says, bring your family to meet our family. Armstrong Ford Homestead, they're US 1 at Southwest 307th Street, just 20 minutes south of the 836. Check them on the web, armstrongcars.com, and then give David a call at 305-247-5112 and ask him about the exciting Ford Family Plan today. Drive a little extra and save yourself literally thousands at Armstrong Ford of Homestead.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560, QAM.
I've constantly expressed my displeasure with leaks, particularly leaks of classified information, and I want to know the truth. I want to see to it that the truth prevails.
If someone in this administration is leaking classified information, they will no longer be a part of this administration, because that's not the way this White House operates. If anyone in this administration is responsible for the leaking of classified information, they will no longer work in this administration.
Well, there's something up, no secrecy around. Covers full of Valerie Plame. Joseph Wilson called just the other day. Told Bush who is to blame. Said Carl should be ashamed for exposing Valerie Plame. Are they taking out Carl Rove? Whoa, whoa, Carl Rove.
You stood at that podium and said that Carl Rove was not involved, and now we find out that you spoke about Joseph Wilson's wife.
Well, the story gets better, the wife was fine, the talk is all over
president expects members of his administration to adhere to the highest ethical standards.
That's right, and like he said just this morning, he's kind of changing it every day. First of all, if anybody leaked the name, then they were going to be out. And then he said if anybody committed a crime. Now he said this morning if they murdered at least 5 people, then they're going to be out.
And he'll think about it.
Right.
By the way, do you want the 7-page facts about actors who served in the military and those who didn't?
No. Why do I care about that? Why is that of any interest to us, huh?
That's what happens when I get to go to the bathroom. I can't cancel.
Now, does this include actors who served in the military, like went over there and made propaganda movies, like John Wayne?
Hey, Don Adams was a Marine. How do you like that?
Well, good for him. Get smart, Don. Now, here's the facts that says, since little did I realize that Topper business was going to go even more than that Bajini business.
Snowballed.
Big. Cosmo Topper was not Leo Carrillo. Pancho from the Cisco Kid was Leo Carrillo. We know that. The Cisco Kid, though, which we did not know, was Duncan Ronaldo. That brings back some memories. Cisco, Pancho, thank God that TV doesn't stereotype minorities, you know what? I know that's your favorite TV theme, so I cranked it up.
No problem.
You had your Amos and Andy, and then, of course, you got this now queer eye for the fag guy and all these other all these screaming, mincing. Oh, God. You think I watched those? No.
Well,
folk.
They wouldn't put a show on called Queer Eye for the straight guy and then have a couple of, non-queer acting guys on.
Oh, I see.
What would be the point?
Let's see. What was the movie? I'm trying to think. Who's that great actor? See, I can't think of who he is either.
Jason Robards.
No. But in the same category, great actor who played in some fag movie. At any rate, always the Boys in a Band. The real straight-looking one. I can't think of his name right now. What a shame. Look up Boys in a Band and give me the cast, please.
Josh is doing it. Let him get that on.
The dog of St. Bernard was named Neil on Topper.
Oh, God!
I can't forget that one. I just remembered it when the guy told me 2 minutes ago. My birthday, too. That's why I played the birthday thing. And congratulations to both of Brian and me. This is the birthday boy. Okay. Here's what we got so far. 438 people have done our survey thing. Our little sex survey. You don't have to lie because they're not tracing these, although maybe they are. Which of these applies to you? I'm a 100% heterosexual male. No gay experiences. Yet, 265. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse, 50. I'm a heterosexual male who's had at least one sexual experience with a male, 50. I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experiences, 12. I'm really a bisexual male. Do you believe us?
No.
Really? 12. I'm a gay male who's had sex with a woman, 9. I'm a gay male who never had sex with a woman, 6. So let's see, 3.3% of the audience is gay. How do you like that? Did you believe that?
I thought it was like 10% when you took this before differently.
I'm a lesbian who's had... They're all gone now. They missed the beaded curtain. I'm a lesbian who's had sex with a man, 5.
Just as you said that,
What?
I have to interrupt because I just threw away another fax complaining about the beaded curtain being gone.
Too bad. I'm really a bisexual female, 5. I'm a lesbian, never had sex with a man, 4. And I'm a heterosexual female who has had lesbian sex, 4. So let's see, you take your dykes, 2%, and what do we got, 3 points? So about 5% of the audience is
gay.
How do you like that? Contrary to popular rumor. Certain people like to spread. Certain trained monkeys like to spread. Bad muskrats. I'm not getting to my pile here at all. We would be ashamed to have to carry these over for Thursday.
Get it.
Top aides to President Bush and Vice President Dick Cheney were intensely focused on discrediting former Ambassador Joseph C. Wilson in the days after he wrote that op-ed article for the New York Times suggesting the administration manipulated intelligence to justify going to war in Iraq, federal investigators have been told. And, of course, that was the thing, smear and schmear. Whether it was Richard Clark, whether it was Scott Ritter, whether it was Hans Blix, whether it was Paul O'Neill, or whether, of course, it was Joe Wilson. Smear and schmear. Prosecutors investigating whether administration officials illegally leaked the identity of Wilson's wife, a CIA officer who had worked undercover, have been told that Bush's top political strategist, Karl Rove, and Cheney's chief of staff, Louis Scooter Libby, were especially intent on undercutting Wilson's credibility, according to people familiar with the inquiry. Although, remember I told you this is just the beginning, and they can try to cover it up right now, but meanwhile the grand jury is still doing their thing?
I'm holding my breath.
Although lower-level White House staffers typically handle most contacts with the media, Rove and Libby began personally communicating with reporters about Wilson, prosecutors were told. A source directly familiar with information provided to prosecutors said Rove's interest was so strong that it prompted questions in the White House. When asked at one point why he was pursuing the diplomat so aggressively, Rove reportedly responded, "He's a Democrat." Rove then cited Wilson's campaign donations, which leaned toward Democrats, the person familiar with the case said. There you go. When in doubt, smear them out. And the media, man, the CNN, I'm going to say it again for the 80-minute time, they need to be taken right off the air. When in doubt, take them out, CNN. Take out the tower. Take out the satellite. They put such garbage on. They had some bimbo on there yesterday who was supposedly having a debate or a discussion about Scott McClellan and about all the questions from the media about Karl Rove. She had some Republican operative on there from the RNC, and then she had Jack Valenti on there, you know, the screenwriters, the Hollywood guy.
Okay.
Who was just saying the same thing as the other guy. Well, you know, press secretaries always have to, like, be loyal to their president, and it's a tough job. It was just pathetic. It was just pathetic. Bubblehead bimbos asking the really tough questions on CNN, MSNBC. MSNBC now, they got revolving bimbos. Some of them don't look too bad, but that's their new deal now.
I'd like to get that going.
Although you don't even know who Lester Holt is, so what the hell do you know?
Who?
I'm shocked by that.
Well, I don't watch it.
You know who Chris Matthews is?
Okay, maybe.
Who talks out of the side of his mouth?
Oh, that guy, yeah.
And you know who Joe Scarborough is? Former Florida congressman, right-wing, real man with a personality like a dead man.
I guess, if I saw him.
You can't complain about the personality on MSNBC because they don't have any. And then they got Ronnie Reagan Jr. Hey, Ronnie!
You fairy!
That little screamer. It's pretty sad. We could put our own news network on and put some interesting people on, you know? But talk to Greg about it, because I know we're very news-intensive on QAM. 26 past 11. Oh, before we do the break, speaking of Karl Rove, just a quarter of Americans think the White House is fully cooperating with the federal investigation of that leak of Valerie Plame's name, a number that's declined sharply since the investigation began. And 75% say that if presidential advisor Karl Rove was responsible for leaking classified information, it should cost him his job. There's nothing worse than a bad leak. Kind of like when it burns, you know?
It burns.
Skepticism about the administration's cooperation has jumped as the initial investigation began in September. Oh, and I forgot to mention something. Hank reminded me Thursday morning, a magical word. You know what the word is for blood sugar?
I give up.
Cinnamon. You like cinnamon?
Yeah, I love cinnamon.
Cinnamon. A miracle
toast.
But don't put sugar on it, though.
Well, that makes it better.
Skepticism about the administration's cooperation has jumped as the initial investigation began in September of 2003. Nearly half the public, 47%, believed the White House was fully cooperating. That fell to 39% a few weeks later, and now, lower still, only 25% who also want to buy the Brooklyn Bridge and some property in the Everglades real cheap, they believe that they're cooperating, as opposed to covering up, stonewalling, obfuscating, lying through their teeth, etc. All of these
things.
27 past 11 at 560. WQM, probably be a good idea if I did the right spot, you know. Well, I get so whipped up about this crap, especially having only these 2 days a week to ejaculate. Good Life Credit asked the question, do you know what's on your credit report? If not, remember this number, 866-625-0444. It's a fact that 80% of credit reports contain errors that affect your credit score, and we all know the problems that come when you got a bad credit score. And if you ever try to contest an error that appears on your credit report, you know what a pain in the arse that can be. Good Life Credit is here to correct those mistakes. Good Life Credit's in-house attorneys will do all the work for you, and there are no setup fees. Good Life Credit will order your credit report from the 3 major credit bureaus. They'll write the letters of discrepancies for you and straighten out any inaccuracies. So don't let somebody else's mistake cost you a high credit score. Before you visit the dealership or call the realtor, do yourself a favor and call Good Life Credit. And right now, right this moment, the first 10 callers will get a 10% discount. Just tell them that Neil told you to call. The number to call is 1-866-625-0444. That's 1-866-625-0444, or on the web, it's goodlifecredit.com.
When it comes to entertainment, we've got the biggest personality. Neil Rogers, 1572. Sports Radio 560. QAM.
You can unwrap all the slime all the time. See here, I ain't never said no. I get very annoyed about keep saying doy. I ain't never said it. And they ought to pay me by the
No doy today, man. We got Geldy for... Maybe Geldy will do a couple of doys today, huh? Just to honor what he's filling in for between 2 and full. What do you think?
We'll write him a note.
Come on, Geldy, we're requesting a few doys. Anyway, here's that story. I finally had to check Reuters. I scoured the internets, and I finally found this story. We saw it on CNN, but they didn't feel it was important enough to put on their website or to even bother repeating. Gunmen shot dead 3 Sunni Arab members of the team drafting Iraq's new constitution today, striking a blow against the body seen as the best hope for providing a political end to the insurgency. Drawing Sunni Arabs onto the committee due to deliver a new constitution by August 15th was the cornerstone of the U.S.-backed strategy of persuading members of the arrested minority to move off the streets and into peaceful politics. But 3 of them now, sleep with the fishes, morto, man. Oh, and speaking of dead, here's the most important story. It's a damn good thing I got back into my pile.
Okay.
This may be the most important story and be a good idea for a poll question someday.
All right.
Did you look up Boys in the Band, by the way?
Yeah.
In the cast?
Yeah, which one do you want? I don't know who it is. How about Frederick Combs?
No.
How about Leonard Frey?
No.
How about Cliff Gorman?
No.
How about Kenneth Nelson?
No.
Maude Adams?
No.
Reuben Green?
No.
Robert Latornex?
No.
Lawrence Luckenbill?
No.
Keith Prentice?
Maybe who I'm thinking of wasn't in that movie.
Well, you only got one more, Peter White.
No. Wasn't in that movie. It was some other movie.
I see.
Anyway, it'll come back to me. Firm tied to freezing Ted Williams' head to open in Boynton Beach. This is the most important story, and it would lead to a great poll for you to take someday. Whose head would you like to think we ought to freeze?
That's good.
Not a good poll idea?
Yeah.
A company associated with the Arizona firm that froze the head of baseball legend Ted Williams plans to open a cryonics facility in Boynton Beach. Oh, God. Talk about the petrified forest. Boynton Beach?
Oi!
Suspended Animation, that's the name of the outfit, expects to open in August. The facility was approved 4-1 by Boynton Beach commissioners in March after being repeatedly rejected by Boca officials. What's the movie? Is Bela Lugosi in it? Where they have, no, I don't think so. Where he saves, the woman gets killed, his wife gets killed in a car crash, and he saves her head.
Oh, what's the name?
You've seen that, haven't you?
The head that wouldn't die, or something.
Something like that. And her head is alive, and he's all the tubes are going into it, and the blood is flowing, and her head is like.
Might have been Vincent Price.
No, I saw it just a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It is really bad. It's one of those grade Z movies, but it's camp, it's fun, you know.
I love that.
Nothing like having your head on a table. And she's singing I Ain't Got No Body, which is kind of cute. Oh, speaking of TV shows, this one always gets you really upset because
it's fake.
From the first season, he was his ward, not his pedophile. Is he picking on Burt Ward again? That's the word I was thinking of. A lot. Anyway, the facility was approved 4-1 after being repeatedly rejected by Boca officials, but Boynton Beach said, sure, we got plenty of deadheads here, why not? The company's manager used to work for Alcor Life Extension Foundation, which reportedly severed Williams' head. Oh, God, is that enough to make me want to play that severed head bit or what?
Oh, my God! It's a severed head! Yes, severed head, the new fad that's sweeping the nation. Everyone who's anyone has got a severed head. And if you think it's not for you, then just listen to this dramatized version of an actual letter sent to us by a satisfied severed head customer.
Okay, that makes $623 for all your Halloween candy.
Well, $623. Isn't that a lot for a bag of candy?
Well, it's our finest mixture. You do get the caramel corn balls, the tapioca sugar daddies, and the juice-filled wax pumpkins.
Well, I guess it is a good deal. Except for this severed head in the middle of the Zangnut bar.
Sweet cheese! I'm so sorry. Please let me give you all this Halloween candy for free.
You'd better.
Yes, a severed head is your ticket to thousands of discounts and freebies worldwide. So pick up yours today. And remember, if it's not dead, it's not severed head.
The company's manager used to work for Alcor Life Extension Foundation, which reportedly severed Williams' head and stored the body parts in a steel bin in Arizona after he died in July 2002. Cryonic supporters claim that future scientific breakthroughs will allow doctors to bring frozen dead bodies back to life, but most scientists contend that it's highly unlikely and won't happen anytime soon. It's out of the question in the foreseeable future, said Mehmet Toner, a Harvard biomedical engineer, who's that was hysterical when Hank asked me this morning, do we have any Muslims here? Oh, God. We got more ragheads here than you can shake your thing at. You can shake your magic wand at, duh. We can't even freeze and revive individual organs, let alone freeze a human being, said Mr. Toner. We're about defeating morality, said Charles Platt, 68, mortality and morality. Said Charles Platt, a science fiction writer with no medical background who will manage the lab. Platt was Alcor's chief operating officer. The South Florida laboratory will primarily act as a processing facility to freeze dead bodies, Platt said. It will not store bodies. They're just going to be freezing them. We're freezing over here. Isn't that great?
Lovely.
I still think that's a good poll idea. Whose head should we have frozen so we can bring them back sometime? And then, of course, they'll all say, oh, me.
Yeah.
You. No, I don't think so. No, not me, but me as in them. 5670560, pound 560. We're not going to make our 1,000 things on there today, John. Not even a chance. Just slow down to a crawl. 488. That's not so great. We need to get to like about 600 by noon to have a shot, don't you think?
Maybe.
Which of these applies to you? 491. I'm 100% heterosexual male, no gay experience, 297. Over 60%. I'm a heterosexual male who has had at least one sexual experience with a male, 65. With a male man. I couldn't get laid in the whorehouse, 54. I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experience, 26. I'm really a bisexual male, even though George doesn't believe it, 13. I'm a gay male who has had sex with a woman,
That's not the one I don't
11.
believe.
Just relax. I'm a gay male, never had sex with a woman, 7. So what is that, like for 3.6% gay men? I'm a lesbian who's had sex with a man, 5. I'm really a bisexual female, 5. I'm a lesbian, never had sex with a man, 4. And I'm a heterosexual female who has had lesbian sex, 4. God, is this getting complicated or what?
Yes.
Man, I can't even keep track. You need a diaphragm.
It's that number 2 that I don't believe.
Number 2?
I'm a heterosexual male.
Guess what? We really don't care.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers. It's
Snoop Dogg. That's what I'm here to talk about, me individually.
Let's go to some calls. New Orleans, Louisiana. Hello.
Hey, Snoop, do you know how to roll a blunt?
Oh, definitely.
I do too.
Oh, cool. Will you guys come to one of my Girl Scout meetings and teach us how to do it?
Sure.
Definitely.
I love you, Snoop.
I love you, baby.
Overland Park, Kansas. Hello.
Hey, Snoop, can you help an old lady score a quarter pound of chronic?
I'm down to do that.
Awesome.
I need to get some money from you.
You got it. I'll meet you in the parking lot after the show.
And then we'll roll from there.
Thanks, dog. You're the bomb.
Las Vegas. Hello.
Larry, I notice you've been fondling that joint all night. Take a hit already.
Exactly.
Okay.
That a boy.
That's the proper way.
Thanks,
Snoop. Be cool, Larry.
Snoop Dogg.
Thank you for having me, Larry.
It's 11:45. I didn't know Larry had him. And Hal Holbrook, by the way, is the actor I was thinking about. I had a lucid moment there during the break. Hal Holbrook.
Okay.
And the movie was a TV movie, A Certain Summer, 1972, which I'm sure you can see that, about the young man whose father turns out to be
gay.
And, of course, Hal Holbrook is about as straight-looking and acting as anybody. And how about Michael Onkeen?
Right.
Making Love. Remember that movie with with Janet Jackson and Kate Jackson too? Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Michael Onkeen.
Harry
How much
Hamlish
straighter looking than him? I beg your pardon?
Wasn't Harry Hamlish in that movie?
Harry Hamlish, where she looked awfully
gay.
Ever since then, I always thought Harry Hamlin was
gay.
And when he got married to Nicolette Sheridan, which didn't last forever, but nevertheless, I thought, oh, sure, right.
He was also in that Greek movie.
Really? I didn't know he was into.
Yeah, Clash of the Titans.
Hal Holbrook, who is always considered, in fact, isn't it timely because he played Deep Throat in All the President's Men?
Huh.
See how all of these things kind of fit together like a big jigsaw puzzle? And I'm trying to think of the movie. I guess it was in Fame, where Leroy's girlfriend had that big ass, you know, that big she was wearing those tights. What is it about black women and big sloppy asses? You know, what is that?
Genetics.
Is that what that is?
Sure.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
What is that? I'm talking about a big old ass. I'm not talking about a shapely old big ass like a lot of you Julios like. I'm talking about a sloppy big old ass. Huh?
Cornbread.
Corn pone? Hi, High-ranking security and intelligence officials. Uh-oh.
Well, we're moving on
Get out
now.
of here. High-ranking security and intelligence officials warned in the weeks before the London bombings that the war in Iraq had increased the risk of terrorism in Britain. It was reported today. It had increased the war in Iraq, okay? Are you following this, boys and girls?
I don't understand how that could work.
A report by the Joint Terrorist Analyzation Center, which includes officials from MI5, MI6, GCHQ, and GLX, and all these others, and the police, explicitly linked U.S.-led involvement in Iraq with terrorist activity in the U.K., although it concluded that no group currently had the intent and the capability to mount an attack, the New York Times said. Which, of course, did that turn out to be right? Events in Iraq are continuing to act as motivation and a focus of a range of terrorist-related activity in the U.K., the report, a copy of which was leaked to the paper by a foreign intelligence agency, BSAN. The leak will embarrass Prime Minister Tony Blair and other ministers who yesterday flatly rejected a think tank report's conclusion that the Iraq conflict had increased the terror threat to the UK. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. We don't need to bring back Sherlock Holmes. Both Downing Street and the Foreign Office refused to comment on today's claims. We do not comment on leaked documents, the Prime Minister's official spokesman said. A Foreign Office spokesman added, we do not comment on alleged leaks, whatever they are. I remember what I said before, nothing worse than a bad leak.
Right.
The New York Times reported that the secret JPAC report, which was sent to British government agencies and foreign governments in mid-June, had said, in mid-June, at present there is not a group with both the current intent and the capability to attack the UK. The JPAC report was written about 3 weeks before 4 suicide bombers launched attacks on 3 London tube trains and a bus, killing at least 56. The report prompted the government to lower its formal threat assessment by 1 level from severe defined to substantial, as reported by The Guardian on the day after the July 7th attacks. Security officials insisted the downgrading of the threat level would not have affected the response of the police and emergency services to the blast. How do you like that? They are so out to lunch, man. They're just missing it.
I don't understand how attacking people, increases a threat.
I beg your pardon?
When you attack someone, how come they don't, just love you after that?
I see. Yeah, like I said, it takes Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson to figure that one out. And maybe Miss Marple, too. Throw her ass in there. With Leo Carollo. A group called Floridians for Stem Cell Research and Cures launched a California-style initiative yesterday. I'm sure you talked about this at length.
Oh, yeah.
Not. With its leaders pledging to seek taxpayer money not only for research on embryos, but also for therapeutic cloning.
Oh!
The group is starting a statewide campaign to raise $1.5 million, said founder Bert Aronson, a Palm Beach County Commissioner. The money would be used to collect the 611,000 signatures needed to put the constitutional amendment before voters in the September 2006 gubernatorial primaries. Nice one, Bert. You go, boy. Gotta see if they make it a constitutional amendment. Then these fat-ass right-wingers like Jeb Bush can't say, oh, no, can't do that. See that?
I see it.
I mean, is there any doubt about it? 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon and Singular wireless lines. Any minute now, we're going to get the name of that new Supreme Court judge appointee. What did I do? Did I already toss that?
Don't toss it.
Because I read it on when Hank and I were doing the crossover. When we did our 45-minute crossover, I guess I did that. Some circuit court judge from New Orleans, who is A-OK with Roe v. Wade. Well, if they were pissed off about Gonzalez, Jose Jimenez Gonzalez, they're really going to be porked off about this, all them right-wingers.
Why were they pissed about Jose Jimenez?
Oh, isn't it interesting that I'm starting to have like a real conflict? I'm not sure which group of people I despise more, Farbissa Nagoyim or those Israelis. Oh, I can't even describe you. Their behavior was like their first day out of the house. You know what I mean?
Okay, maybe it was.
Seriously, some people do not know how to behave when they're let out of the house. They can't intermingle with other human beings. They are lacking in social skills. If you catch my drift. And these Israeli people, they were like, oh God. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What makes a white woman so hoish and sleazy?
WQAM, hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Yes, sir.
I have a comment about your ice cream poll earlier today.
Yeah.
Was that poll taken by just old people? Because old people are the only one that still like plain flavors.
No, that was nationwide, man. That was among all people. Young, old, in between, fetuses. I mean, you name it.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Rocky Road rules.
Amen. I love Rocky Road. Man after my own taste. Okay, Pally, go get some. Nothing like traveling that old Rocky Road. It is really
rock solid.
Yeah. Well, are we going to start with the ice cream crap again? I can't do that.
Don't.
I don't want to admit to Josh that I've fallen off the wagon a couple of times.
Oh, you don't have to admit.
Sinner.
Yeah, you already know. Oh, cinnamon, I was starting to say before. You know what is really, this is a miracle. I better not suggest this. Not cinnamon toast. Bread. Bread is one of those things that you just don't metabolize well. It turns to sugar immediately, and even if you do the cinnamon toast. No, I saw a blurb on TV, so I Googled it. Cinnamon and blood sugar.
Okay.
And come to find out, now be very careful when you go into your supermarket because they also, in the herb section, in the spice rack, they have cinnamon mixed with sugar. You do not want to be buying that one.
For your convenience, to sprinkle.
Yeah, but just plain ground cinnamon, which who doesn't like cinnamon? Let's face it.
No one I know.
Now I'm going to say something here, and you're going to laugh at me, but it's true. And I've tried it twice. Josh, don't listen. Put your fingers in your rear. But yeah, no, they already were there. But Haagen-Dazs banana nut, which you know I'm addicted to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you do your melting in a microwave, 99 seconds. I know that sounds like an awful lot, but it is. When you buy it, it's rock solid, like a brick. Anyway, you take your Haagen-Dazs banana nut and you melt it, however much you like, a little bit, and then you take your cinnamon, your ground cinnamon, and you shake on a lot. Which, see, ordinarily it would be. I mean, there's certain things that wouldn't mix. The flavor would be bad. It wouldn't mingle. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't co-mingle. But the cinnamon and the banana nut is a real nifty mix. It's great. And you swirl it all through there, okay?
Okay.
And the amazing part of this is, at least I can only speak from my own personal experience, is that your blood sugar goes up a little bit, and then, like magic, wave that little magic wand you got there, like magic, it starts going down again.
Huh.
And so what I've been doing is I take my cinnamon, and what I'll do when I'm watching TV, I have it right on my little coffee table in the living room.
All right.
And I'll take the cinnamon and shake a bunch of it in the palm of my hand, and then just lick it off, I mean, you can do it with a spoon, but that's no fun.
No, it's a little bitter though, isn't it?
No, cinnamon is bitter?
Well, when you take it straight like that. Isn't it a little harsh?
I never took it straight.
No? That's what I heard.
No, it is not harsh. In fact, I've got to go get me some during the break. I'm going to get my little jar of cinnamon.
All right.
And so anyway, if you don't believe me, go online and read about. Just do a Google on cinnamon and blood sugar, and you'll find zillions of articles. Now they do also recommend like apple pie because it's made with cinnamon. I don't buy that. I'm sorry.
Pie.
That's what it says. Now, maybe for some people, depending on their own metabolism, maybe some people can eat apple pie. It's got a lot of cinnamon on it, and instead of your sugar goes skyrocketing, it'll actually go down. Because I tried the cinnamon toast thing. I got some nice rye bread, which rye is not, the glycemic level isn't all that bad, like white bread. I got some rye bread, and I smeared some butter on there after I toasted it. I put on some cinnamon, and no, doesn't work. Your sugar still goes zooming. Not good. But on Haagen-Dazs banana nut, now you might want to try it on some different flavors.
Right.
Huh?
I'll check my blood sugar next time I have some.
No, you won't. Hank's not checking his blood sugar, by the way. Pretty soon he's going to be doing it.
I'm dying over here.
And I keep telling you, why don't you corral that man? Do something with him,
There's nothing
okay?
to do about it.
What do you mean by that?
What, am I going to do, wrestle him?
Yeah. Get Raul Martinez in here to, restrain him or something.
I'll go get the oil.
Or give him that kit, that little, what do they call that? What is it? The blood sugar kit.
Right.
Like the one I got, the compact disc, whatever the
Accumulator something?
Yeah. Whatever it is. The Accu-Check.
Yeah.
Accu-Check, not what you were thinking of. Okay, here's what we got so far, speaking of sex, which, of course, is all anybody cares about. I mean, what else are we going to do about this?
Our economies are...
Oh, no! This is your fearless leader. Right.
Hey.
He's meeting with Australian Prime Minister Howard. You know Howard? 533 people have checked in on our survey so far. We're not going to make that 1,000 by 2 o'clock. I'll bet you your life on it right now, Josh. We're not going to make it.
I'll make that same bet.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. 533. All you got to do is go on there and click it. Now, just because they don't have any naked pictures, I'm 100% heterosexual male. No gay experiences, 321. I'm a heterosexual man who's had at least one sexual experience with a male, 74, 13.7%. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse, 54. I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experiences, 31. I'm really a bisexual male, 14. Really. I'm a gay male who's had sex with a woman, 11. I'm a gay male, no sex with a woman, 9. Total of 3.6%. I'm really a bisexual female, 6. I'm a lesbian who's had sex with a man, 5. I'm a heterosexual female who's had lesbian sex, 5. And I'm a lesbian, never had sex with no man. I don't want to see one of those things, 4.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560 QAM. Mark Morgan, it's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
For Katie home, she looks dazed and confused like a mental patient off the meds. I wonder if her tiny brain is bruised, are the laces too tight on her kids?
What is it?
'Cause she looks like a deer in headlights, drunk on booze whenever she's around that crazy loon Tom Cruise. Oh, someone save the girl from Dawson's Creek. I think the poor thing springs from a leak. She's being fooled by that cow shopping freak. She isn't glib or nasty. She has an IQ of 3. Wonder if she knows the history of psychology. For Katie Holmes, she looks confused and scared, like a fawn that's lost track of its mom. There's no way that this young girl is prepared for a life where she's married to Tom. Pretty sight, she's not bright, nothing in her cupboard. Wonder if she ever heard of L. Ron Hubbard. Oh, someone save the girl from Dawson's Creek. I don't think her brain is functioning well. She's driven nuts and she can't even tell. She's got both hands off the wheel. I think the time will reveal she's a human, unsure of the whole happy meal.
Okay, so I got my cinnamon right here. My gourmet, McCormick Gourmet ground cinnamon.
You're going to lick it?
And I'm sprinkling it, spritz it in my hand. How could you say that? What did you call it?
Bitter.
No. What's bitter about cinnamon?
When it's by itself, that's why people mix it with sugar.
No, they mix anything with sugar just because it makes it much sweeter. No. It's really good. In fact, I can feel my blood sugar plummeting. I may just hit the floor any second. There you go. So I Googled it, and I did, I don't want to bore everybody with all this because most people are not diabetic, although a lot of you are, and many of you are, and you don't, you're either in denial or you're just full of it. First of all, you shouldn't be eating ice cream anyway, Neil. You fat slob, you're going to be dead. Yeah, someday.
You know, we have a spoonful of cinnamon bit.
We do?
We do.
One thing about that cinnamon, though, it's a little... Did
you know spoonful of cinnamon makes the medicine go down. The medicine goes down. The medicine goes down. Just a spoonful of cinnamon makes the medicine go down. In the most delightful way.
Okay. Now, what am I missing about that? What is that supposed to be about?
I think it has to do with don't forget the cheese.
Really?
Well, that's what I've heard.
I see. Well, it sounds like something gay to me. Leave it to you. Anyway, Kathy Wong, who's an ND. Oh, what is an ND? A naturopathic doctor of naturopathy or something?
I'll take your word for it.
In other words, not a real doctor. Kathy Wong writes on a website called Alternative Medicine, one of the easiest things you can do to improve blood sugar and increase insulin is to add up to a half a teaspoon of cinnamon to your diet each day. That's not a whole lot. Half a teaspoon, is it?
No, it's not.
Some of the research highlights about the cinnamon blood sugar connection and it's got a long thing on here. A human study published in Diabetes Care looked at 60 people with type 2 diabetes, 30 men.
About 30, man.
And 30 women.
About 30, man.
With an average age of 52, they were divided into 6 groups. Groups 1, 2, and 3 consumed 1, 3, or 6 grams of cinnamon daily, respectively. Groups 4, 5, and 6 were given placebo capsules, corresponding to the number of capsules consumed for the 3 levels of cinnamon. After 40 days, all 3 levels of cinnamon intake reduced fasting blood glucose, ranging from 18 to 29%, triglycerides 23 to 30%.
About 30, man.
LDL cholesterol, that's the bad stuff, 7 to 27%, and total cholesterol, 12 to 26%. And also, not only do they do that, but they also have antioxidant activity, cinnamon.
Okay, good.
The active compounds are not lost with heating, so you can try adding cinnamon to water before heating and boiling them together. You can do like putting your cinnamon tea. If you don't like the look or texture of tea made with ground cinnamon, try making a tea, bringing water to a boil with a piece of cinnamon bark added to it. Where do you get cinnamon bark?
They have that. You can buy it in jars.
Have you ever seen cinnamon bark?
Yeah.
Try sprinkling cinnamon on salads, oatmeal, or adding a bit to chicken or meat before cooking. Don't use more than a half teaspoon a day, an amount that appears to be safe for most people. Well, your mama, I'll use however much I want. Cinnamon increases vitality and balances energy. It's especially good for people who tend to have hot upper body and colder lower body. Cinnamon also improves the digestion of fruits, milks, and other dairy products. And also for you, very important, muy importante, since you're an IBS guy now, you got that irritable bowel.
Right.
And they're right. Cinnamon is also good for bloating, gas, poor digestion, arthritis, anemia, painful menstrual periods, and diarrhea. How do you like that?
Well, all right then.
See? I'd start smearing it right now if I were you.
I'm going to go get some.
Tom, you get it right there at your Publix in the spice joint. Be sure not to get the one with the sugar. Oh, in your case,
I'm going to do that.
Don't get the one with the sugar in it. That's counterproductive. Okay. Don't be putting poison in your cinnamon, Mister.
So I'll use sugar and NutraSweet or something.
Whatever.
Cinnamon and NutraSweet.
We're moving on now.
5670560 pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless lines.
Their aides offered their resignation, and what short of a crime constitutes a firing offense?
You know, I appreciate you bringing that up. My answer really hadn't changed. From 24 hours ago, that's the same answer. Now, I'd be glad to answer another question if you got one. I mean, I'll be glad to repeat what I said yesterday.
Then do it.
Which is there's an ongoing investigation, and people shouldn't, jump to conclusions in the press until the investigation is over. Once the investigation is over, I'll deal with it. If you got another question, I don't want to shortchange you on a...
What do you think of Edith Clement?
Pardon me?
What do you think of Edith Clement for the court?
Oh, well, I think it's important. Let me refer you back to the first question.
But they're all yucking it up. I beg your pardon?
Nothing. It's just that people are serious about this guy.
What, do you know any of those people?
No, I don't.
I don't either, thank God. I bet you those Israelis were serious about it, the ones from Woodbine the other day. In fact, they should have been hanging out at the burning bush. 5670560 pound 560 in the Verizon Singular wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay.
3 very quick but important points.
Yes.
We're going to see how the media is manipulated by these people with this diversion with the Supreme Court. See how they really are, because they're already warning them that's what they're going to do. Let's see what they really do. Another thing, we have people like Eliana Ross-Layton going in there every Sunday on all the talk shows talking about terrorism. And when one of theirs do it, you know that guy that they caught on Miami Beach, she's defending him all over. They're ripping her a new one on all the Hispanic stations because of it. A third point. I saw on the Talkers magazine for 2005. They list you as a
one of the 80,000 great talk show hosts of all time, right? One of the 400 million greatest talk show hosts ever, right?
It's ridiculous. No, but I just really would like to know how these people, they warn the media that this is what they're going to do. Let's see what they do to combat that, because that's what they're doing.
Okay.
Another sad thing, did you hear yesterday when they asked him the question about the Rove thing, how people started laughing at that, and that's the president of this country, and they're laughing at how stupid he is.
Yeah, people are dying and we're laughing. Okay, good luck to you, Pally.
These tend to cause people to demand additional freedoms. It's in our economic interest, and I think it's in the world's interest that we...
I mean, seriously, how can anybody with a straight face look at this and say, this is the leader of the free world, this is our president, this is a man who's, oh, brother.
Not with a straight face.
No. How about with a
Gay.
face? WQAM, hello. Okay, nobody on that line. Boy, I tell you, it's a little slim and grim, you know it? WQAM, hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was listening to the article that you read about the escalation of violence, and I had a, do you remember General Boykin?
Sure.
And he said,
Crazy person.
our God is better than your God, and we live in a Christian country.
I liked it when he said,
"Deal God."
That was my favorite.
Well, that's what I say. But, I mean, that's basically, I have three things against me. I'm white, American, and Jewish.
Well, you're done for, man. Don't go to Israel, by the way.
My mom's going, and I'm fighting with her.
Yeah, pack her a salami sandwich, okay? Pack her some stale halava.
And it's unbelievable. She's fighting. She says she's more scared to go to Aventura Mall at night than to go to Israel.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's never been scared. I don't want her to be, so I don't want her to go.
Just keep her off the bus.
All right, man. Be safe.
Good luck to you. Happy Shavuos, by the way. 567. That's what I wanted to say to those Israelis there, okay? Two things. Number one, happy Shavuos, and number two, kasachois. And number three, get lost. Get out of here. Get off my shoulder. Get away from me. Get off everybody here. Go act civilized, even if you have to put on a big act. God, were they disgusting. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, good to hear you back, man.
Yes, sir.
This is for George, man. Instead of just eating your shit, it's too better. Just sprinkle it up on the blonde and then just enjoy, kick back, and smoke it up, man.
There you go.
All right.
WQAM, hello. QAM, hello. A little spastic action here right now. QAM. No time. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, I got two questions.
Yes, sir.
One, do you know any place to get discount tickets for SeaWorld?
Yeah. And what's the second question? Okay, we'll work on it. Okay, like I said, getting back to my pile here. Well, I thought I'd give it a shot. At least it's some different bozos today, I'll say that.
No, it's great. Are you kidding me?
This is some heavy-duty crap we got going on here today.
That's a new one, SeaWorld.
Yeah, I like that. See this?
That?
1213 at 560 WQM. For years I've been telling you about Dry Concepts, the best carpet cleaning company around, which is why I've used it in my houses for over 20 years. But are you aware that Dry Concepts can also save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars in other areas? Dry Concepts also do fantastic drapery cleaning, upholstery, leather furniture restoration, mattress cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, and repair, pet odor treatments, and water damage too. Dry Concepts can also clean and restore your tile and grout quickly and efficiently. Dry Concepts' professional staff is always improving to serve you with the most advanced cleaning systems under the sun. And during the month of July, can you believe it's already July 18th, 19th? I can't stand it. Before you know it, this whole summer thing's going to be over here. During the month of July, it's Dry Concepts Summer Sizzler Sale. Take advantage of great savings for you on all of Dry Concepts services, from carpet cleaning to tile and grout cleaning. It's the only place you ought to be calling. And don't forget, they give you a written guaranteed price for the job before they start, no matter what they do for you. So when Dade Broward in the Palm Beaches, call them toll-free, 1-800-248-5071. That's 1-800-248-5071, or on the wicked web at dryconcepts.com. Don't forget, you really can clean today and entertain tonight when you use our good friends at Dry Concepts.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560, QAM.
A long time ago, I can still remember when I first saw American Pie. And I knew if I had my chance, then I'd try to get right in her pants and maybe try to date her for a while. Her nude scene really made me randy. I choked on my popcorn and my candy. I'll be at her doorstep and beg her to get undressed. I can't remember if I cried when I read that she became a bride. A breath of relief I did sigh the day she left that guy. So hi, Miss American Pie. Fantasies that you would date me were just pie in the sky. Since I was just a boy, I wish that I was your guy. Had no chance in hell, but at least I tried. My proposition has been denied.
Okay, 1219 at 560 WQAM. Whatever you say. The number of Iraqi civilians who met violent deaths in the 2 years after the U.S.-led invasion was today put at 24,865 by an independent research team, but who's counting? The figures compiled from Iraqi and international media reports found U.S. and coalition military forces were responsible for 37% of the deaths, with anti-occupation forces and insurgents responsible for 9%. A further 36% were blamed on criminal violence. Sounds just like the kind of place that we'd like to hang out, right?
Right. Going down.
So where would you like to hang out? Baghdad or Tel Aviv? What do you say? No, seriously.
I have to choose now.
People say to me, well, you travel all over the world, you go to Europe all the time, and how come you never go to Israel? And my immediate thought is,
Oi!
For what? To put myself in jeopardy?
The hotel's there.
Yeah. No thanks. And the food there is from hunger. Even the Arabs say feh. Civilian deaths attributed to U.S. and coalition military forces peaked in the invasion period from March to May 2003, which accounts for 30%.
About 30, man.
Of all civilian deaths in the 2-year period, but the longer-term trend has been for increasing numbers to die at the hands of insurgents. What do you like better, detergents or insurgents? Figures obtained last week from the Iraqi Interior Ministry put the average civilian and police officer death toll in insurgent attacks from August 2004 to March 2005 at 800 a month. That's like about 10,000 a year, sounds like to me. John Sloboda, now wait till you hear this. John Sloboda of the Iraq Body Count Project, which co-authored a report with Oxford Research Group, said the Iraqi civilian death toll was the forgotten cost of the decision to go to war in Iraq. On average, 34 Iraqis every day have met violent deaths since the invasion, he said. Our data shows that no sector of Iraqi society has escaped. We sincerely hope this research will help to inform decision-makers around the world about the real needs of the Iraqi people as they struggle to rebuild their country, the one that you bombed into submission and into smithereens and shut off the electric and the water and the oil, etc., and so on. Getting to something much more serious, a 27-year-old married man was arrested and charged for allegedly leaving threatening notes on women's cars, demanding that they remove their panties and leave them in the space where their vehicle was parked, police told Channel 6. How do you like that?
Did it work?
Investigators said Nicholas Koger, 27, would wait until a woman would exit a vehicle in a parking lot at Celebration Health in Osceola County and other locations, then leave a note between the front driver's door and rear passenger's door on the windshield. If the door was unlocked, he would also leave the note on a car seat. Koger demanded that the woman remove their underwear and place the garment in the parking space where he presumably would pick it up later. Local 6 News reporter Nancy Alvarez said, I'm assuming this is Channel 6 in Orlando.
All right.
Obviously. If they didn't comply, he threatened to fine them and perform various sex acts. Now, maybe this is whatever, it's a crappy channel.
Does it say which ones?
What?
Which acts?
No, not yet. The first incident of threatening notes was reported in 2000, but no leads appeared till last May. Several months of surveillance at a parking lot led deputies to the arrest of Koger. After questioning, he admitted to the crimes and now faces 6 felony counts of written threats to kill or do bodily injury. Police said Koger is also struck in St. Cloud, Kissimmee, and Orlando. Letters similar to Koger's were found on cars at a Home Depot on Highway 192 in St. Cloud, a nearby Winn-Dixie, and a Target store on North Vineland Street in Kissimmee. Sheriff's detectives are looking to speak to additional women who may have been victimized. Just look for some women running around with no panties on. That should give you the first clue, right?
Right.
Oh, and speaking of Israel, this is one of my favorite stories of all time. See, I'll tell you, the one that really bothered me was that woman, sitting there waiting to get paid her $1,000. She was so impressed by the fact that these Israelis were Jewish. Like first of all, like it's a novelty here. There's nothing novel about being Jewish in Toronto, okay? That's number one. And number two, it conjures up that whole thing about the birds of a feather flock together,
sure,
like I told Hank. It's right. Annoying. Their behavior is obnoxious. They're acting like a bunch of barbarians, and you're impressed because they're Jewish. I'd be embarrassed. I was humiliated. Acted like a bunch of vile animules. Anyway, Florence Sokolov was among the legions of consumers who had turned to Canadian pharmacies purchasing tablets to increase the strength of her bones because the medication was cheaper in Canada than at her home in Fort Lauderdale. Then she saw an advertisement in a Jewish magazine that offered another alternative. Now, Sokolov 74 goes on the internet and orders her medication from Israel, where she can find lower prices than those at Canadian pharmacies, and where she prefers to spend her money. There are enough companies that are being strangled and are not doing business with Israel because of political boycotts, and if I can do anything at all in my small way, I'll do it, she said. She was krelling as she said it, I'm sure. Do you ever krell?
All the time.
Israeli companies such as, now see, this is spelled M-A-G-E-N, so I'm assuming it's Magen David Meds, Magen David Med, not Mogen, MagenDavidMeds.com and IsraMeds.com court the prescription drug market by advertising in national Jewish newspapers and magazines, often pitching lower prices in solidarity. MagenDavidMeds.com ads tell shoppers they're going to be saving money and supporting the Israeli economy at the same time. For her first order, placed in May, MagenDavidMeds.com charged Sokolov $115.80 for a dozen 70-milligram tablets of Fosamax. What is that?
I don't know.
For bones, I guess. Plus $9.99 for shipping. The same order would cost $210.79 at a Walgreens in Tamarack and $133.23 from Canada Prescription Plus, an online supplier of prescription drugs. So she saved $18, almost. Right. Like Canada and much of Western Europe, the Israeli government establishes drug prices rather than allowing them to be set by the free market as in the U.S. In other words, rather than allowing the public to be raped by the pharmaceutical companies such as in the U.S. The prices are as much as 70% lower in Israel, MagenDavidsMeds.com claims. Some brand name drugs are identical in Israel. Others are generic products that have the same chemical ingredients. But critics say Americans who buy from other countries are compromising safety for cost. And you know what we're concerned about in America, don't you?
Safety, safety, safety.
You got it. Safety, safety, safety. Many Canadian pharmacies have disclaimers that if you're hurt, you have the right to sue them, said Tom McGinnis, the FDA's Director of Pharmacy Affairs. If anything goes wrong with prescription drugs sold in the U.S., he said, consumers have recourse with the State Pharmacy Board and the FDA. It's more of a threat to public health of U.S. citizens because we don't know anything about these medications, how they're made, how they were stored, how they were shipped, as opposed to your state licensed pharmacy there in Florida, he said. Sokolov said she's not swayed by arguments that U.S. drugs are safer. The American drug companies are robbers, she said. They're not very straight with us. They're greedy. I'm sure the drug companies of Canada don't wish to poison their people. Israel does not wish to poison its people. Nice going, Florence, whatever your name. So she's buying from Israel to support the Israelis. Isn't that nice?
Lovely.
And to save a few bucks at the same time.
Sure. Why not? You can do both.
And there you go. 26 past noon at 560 WQAM. Got Mo off today. And nice. That's why we're in such a good mood today. The ghost of Mo ain't lingering over. He'll be back tomorrow, though, Mo. And look at all that Lenny Martez on the schedule. Bryce Radford came in before the show this morning for his usual meet and greet. Didn't have anything. Didn't sell anything, of course, but, a little meet and greet. I said, how come Lenny Martez is all over the schedule? And he said,
What is it?
27 afternoon at 5:60. Maybe that's the reason, Troy. Maybe that's the deal. The Emerald Coast is Florida's #1 Asian gourmet buffet. That's not just my opinion, as I well know, having eaten there a zillion times, but also the opinion of Zagat Restaurant Review. You asked for it, and now every Friday through Sunday night, Lobster Fest is back by popular demand at Emerald Coast, featuring Maine lobster served Thermidor style. And you can still enjoy Crab Fest every night with Alaskan snow crab legs, Dungeness crab, and Jonah stone crabs. The menu still includes oysters on a half shell and a sushi bar with over 30 different items. In addition, the Emerald Coast has hand-carved prime rib cooked just the way you like it, and from their flaming grill, succulent New York steaks, too. Top off dinner with dessert at the unbelievable 40-inch chocolate fountain, where you can hand dip your own strawberries, marshmallows, other decadent treats. Smear a little cinnamon on it, too, by the way. And don't forget, the Emerald Coast promotes healthy living, cooking all their fine cuisine with cholesterol-free canola oil, no MSG, no headaches, no cornstarch, no crap. So book your reservations at one Emerald Coast 3 locations there in Sunrise, Sunny Isles Beach, and Pembroke Pines. For the Emerald Coast, call 954-572-3822. When you're in the mood for a real pig-out, a real feast, this is the place, the Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet.
When it comes to entertainment, we've got the biggest personality. Neil Rogers, midday 7 to Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Hi, this is Larry King, and they don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
There's a blue pill that will make you bold in the bedroom, even if you're old. One side effect, your vision goes away. when you were a teen. Touching yourself would make you blind as can be. You took that pill and can no longer see. I'd rather just be a floppy noodle than be a big stud in my bedroom. I hope my hairy palms will go away. Now I am never gonna ever see you. I should learn to read Braille too. What I'm saying is no more Viagra, not gonna have ya. My thing is dangling, can't sport a stiffy impotent. I'm an impotent man. I'm an impotent man.
Yeah, there seemed to be an epidemic of that going around. You know, that was right along the edge there, that bit.
Yeah.
Right on the very
razor's edge.
Right. That's okay. It has my squeal of approval. Here's the poll so far. I'm telling you, we might actually make it to 700 votes by 2 o'clock, Josh.
Probably not.
No, 602. It's pretty weak. Pretty weak, especially when we're not even asking for an opinion. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe if we said, what do you think about Neapolitan or strawberry or vanilla or chocolate or butter or pecan?
Or maybe there's categories we left off, like animals and machines.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, machines like that one guy. Oh, yeah. It's a good machine, man. Anyway, which of these applies to you? I'm 100% heterosexual male with no gay experiences, 361, about 60%. I'm a heterosexual male who's had at least one sexual experience with a male, 84. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse, 62. Yeah, we've met most of you guys. I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experiences, 38. So that 6.3% of this audience is heterosexual female. Okay?
Okay.
In fact, add that to the, well, whatever. I'm really a bisexual male. Do you believe us? 16. I'm a gay male who has had sex with a woman, 11. I'm a gay male who never had sex with a woman, 10. I'm really a bisexual female, 6. I'm a lesbian who's had sex with a man, 5. I'm a heterosexual female who's had lesbian sex, 5. And I'm a lesbian never had sex with a man, 4. Put that thing away. Oh, here's a thing from Israel.
Most of the people who came to this protest have only packed enough food, supplies, and water for a day or
Take off those silly caps, okay, you crazy bastards.
Their orders from Ariel Sharon, the Israeli Prime Minister. He has told...
When in doubt, get the hell out, okay? Go back where you belong already and cut the crap. Oh, speaking of crazy people, the NRA, eh? Oh, yeah, my favorite crazy people. How come I got this thing cranked up so damn loud today, man? It's just booming. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
Sorry.
The National Rifle Association said yesterday it's pulling its 2007 National Convention out of Columbus, Ohio, because of that city's ban on assault weapons. The City Council passed a ban July 12th outlawing the sale or possession of semi-automatic rifles with pistol grips and detachable magazines. The gun owners organization had planned to hold its annual 3-day event, expected to draw as many as 60,000 people at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. Charlton Heston was supposed to show up, but he forgot. The party is canceled because last week I just can't stop thinking about him with those blue spandex pants on and he was just shuffling away from Michael Moore. I just can't stop thinking of that scene. The party is canceled because last week your city council unanimously voted to revoke the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens in Columbus by banning perfectly legal firearms, NRA Executive Vice President, the certifiable Wayne LaPierre said. Hey, Wayne, crazy person. City officials said the NRA had been told there was a potential for the ban. Public policy decisions, especially those affecting the safety of our citizens, cannot be influenced by any narrow interest group that happens to visit, Council President Matt Habash and Councilman Michael Mantell said in a statement. They both sound a little to me. Federal lawsuits have overturned 2 previous attempts by Columbus to ban assault weapons. The latest law attempts to avoid that by spelling out a distinction between legal sporting weapons and military-style assault weapons. The NRA also considered Portland, Oregon, and Reno, Nevada for the 2007 event. See, this whole idea about sporting weapons, why? Like skeet shooting. Why do we need to do that? Well, what's the point?
Can't shoot enough of them, those bastards.
And the same with all this other sport shooting. I mean, granted, Judge Scalia and Cheney will probably have to stay home more often, but nevertheless, they'll probably both get special dispensation. 5670560, pound 560, the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Don't forget, we got 50 naked pictures of Katie Holmes on the website today. I'm beating curtain.
Doing it with a pony.
Right. WQAM, hello. They're good today. WQAM, hola.
My friend died.
Okay. Probably happy about it. WQAM, hello. QAM. That's it. That was a medley of our call. WQAM, hello. 567-0560, pound 560 in the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. I should know it was almost 1 o'clock.
That's right.
And some of our near and dear friends, because those first couple hours that were like we said, some crap, but some really different crap.
It was great.
And now we got nothing. There is absolutely nobody on there. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Neil, can I tell you what America and Israel has in common?
I'm listening.
They're both sitting on stolen land.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, great. Like I said, don't call us, we'll call you. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Sally.
Yeah.
Why don't you star 69 to jump a jerk off? You know.
And then him.
Now, let me ask you something. In other words, that got on the air?
No, we heard it.
But how did he hear it?
Oh, that's a very good question. Scary question.
Yeah, it's a scary question. It makes me wonder about this square little yellow button that I'm sitting here. I mean, not that we don't have any, doubts about our technical capabilities here at QAM. I mean, not that there could possibly be anything malfunction at the junction.
Uh-huh.
But when I stop and think about all the times I've hit that thing, so you might just both want to keep that in mind.
Okay.
Because I'm not all that sure that this thing is working. I'll try it a little bit during Geldy's show. I'll hit it a few times and see what happens. How else can that be if he heard it?
That's right. We could test it.
Yeah. And how are you going to hear the ear?
Well, I got this little radio over here if the batteries haven't died.
Oh, get out of here. That thing, you crazy?
Yes, but that's another story.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil, I've been in Miami for 6 years, and I'm sorry to say I only listened to you for the last 4. But, that's pretty good. So I need some advice. I'm moving to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, which is equidistant between New York City and Philadelphia.
Right.
And I want to know who I'm going to listen to on the radio.
Probably who is ever on. Like I've always said before, whenever I'm going to go somewhere, wherever I'm going to live, I always wonder, who am I going to listen to on the radio? Oh, God.
Be sure and download your radio listening guide.
What is he trying to say?
I have no life.
As you're going to be leaving town, sir, what I would do is take your radio and flush it down the toilet, okay? Put it in the bottom of a pool, whatever. Who is he going to be listening to on the radio? Probably whoever you enjoy. Or if you don't enjoy anybody, probably nobody. Or maybe both of the above. I have no idea. And guess what? And couldn't care less. Look at this guy. Look at this schmuck on this guy's head.
I know. One punishment from God is very strong.
So one part of the solution is imams taking a very hard line against extremism.
Oh, imama. That's what they say in the Middle East, imama. 567. I'm telling you, man, I've been telling you this from the day one, and I'm going to keep telling you it because nobody wants to say it. Religious people are all crazy. Thank God we're not fighting those tribal wars anymore like they used to do like back in the early day, in the day.
Over a piece of scrubby turf.
Right. That's what it's all about, tribal wars.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Pashtuns and the Kakamoons and the, oh, please. It's just the human race doesn't want to grow up, let's face it. That's what it really is all about. They don't want to grow up. Can't handle death. And then now they're really going heavy duty about this thing with the suicide bombers again. Now that they've made a comeback and starting up in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's all about sex. It's all about those 72 virgins. So if we stop having so many horny young Muslims, maybe we wouldn't have so many suicide bombers. They're all just jonesing for those 72 virgins that they're going to be doing as soon as they get their reward in heaven. And they showed I don't know if you've seen the clips. I'm sure you have. Where they had these madrasas in Pakistan, and they showed the little kids, like 5 and 6 years old, and they're you know how they do with the Orthodox Jews, they daven at the Wailing Wall, and these kids they're davening like they're on speed, they're like bouncing up and they're like bouncing off the tables. Okay,
well, the faster you daven, the closer you get to God.
Is that what it is? Or the quicker you get those 72 virgins, one or the other. And of course, if you got 72, you probably have to do it fast there too. 1241 at 560 WQM, the Geldy warm-up show on QAM.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers middays. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Actor of Fantastic Four.
Oh, you're hot. Why, thank you. So are you. And I'm not afraid to cry.
Jessica Simpson's enormous pair stars in
Why is it called Chicken by the Sea? You're in the sea.
Fantastic 2.
Would you look at that rack?
I find the most erotic part of a woman is the boobies.
I've been looking at your breasts.
I gotta put a wide load sign on those babies.
What sort of hooters you got there?
Fantastic 2. Rated D cup.
There are boob enlarging pills?
Pretty shocking looking at the results of this poll so far. Only a little over 3% of this audience gay males, and you want to know why that is?
Why is that?
They all moved here.
Oh, I see. Well, there's 14%. Don't forget to add those in there.
14% of what? All right, look, we're not interested in your analyzation, okay? That's the reason I took the poll. We've heard your cockamamie crap for long enough, and now let's let them give us their opinion.
By the way, here it is. Everybody agrees with me except the gay guys.
Right. A Christian, of course they do, because they're all going to say that. That's at any rate. Why even bother? It's like beating a dead horse. Here's a man who's an expert on something that he knows nothing about.
Okay.
A Christian adoption agency, speaking of good old-time religion, that receives money from Choose Life license plates, said it doesn't place children with Roman Catholic couples because their religion conflicts with the agency's statement of faith.
Huh?
Bethany, beg your pardon?
I was just taken aback by that.
I see. Bethany Christian Services stated a policy in a letter to a Jackson couple this month, and another Mississippi couple said they were rejected for the same reason last year. It's that good old-time religion, baby. It's been our understanding that Catholicism does not agree with our statement of faith, Bethany State Director Karen Stewart wrote. Our practice not to accept applications from Catholics was an effort to be good stewards of an adopted applicant's time, money, and emotional energy. Sandy and Robert Stedman, who learned of Bethany's decision in a July 8th letter, said their priest told them the faith statement did not conflict with Catholic teaching. Loria Williams of nearby Ridgeland said she and her husband Wes had a similar experience when they started to pursue an adoption September of last year. I can't believe an agency that's nationwide would act like this, Loria said. There was an agency who was Christian-based but wasn't willing to help people across the board. Bethany, based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which, by the way, is a horrible place, has 75 offices in 30 states, including 3 orifices in Mississippi. The orifices are independently incorporated, are affiliated with various religions. Spokesman John Van Vackenberg said from agency headquarters he wouldn't say whether any were Catholic affiliated. The Jackson office is affiliated with Presbyterian Church of America. Glenn DeMott's president of Bethany, said on Friday that the policy is open to interpretation. He said the national office doesn't ban adoptions to Catholic families, but does allow each branch to establish rules for the placement of children based on the agency's statement of faith. As the Savior, Jesus takes away the sins of the world, the statement says in part. Jesus is the one in whom we are called to put our hope, our only hope for forgiveness of sin and for reconciliation of God and with one another. Sandy Stedman said she was hurt and disappointed that Bethany received funds from the Choose Life car license plates. I know a lot of Catholics who get those tags, she said. Suckers! She added, if it's okay to accept money, it should be okay to open your home to us.
Guess what?
Well, surprised, Sandy. You're out.
We've been trying to warn them.
I beg your pardon?
We've been trying to warn the Catholics that the fundamentalists hate them, but, they won't.
Yeah? You mean like Bob Jones?
That's right.
I see. What difference does it make? Maybe it's that Virgin Mary thing. If you people would let go of the Virgin Mary and stop rubbing them damn beads and put all them tchotchkes down, maybe the fundamentalist Christians would cotton to you, but I doubt it.
It wouldn't be any fun.
No, and stop saying them Hail Marys over and over again. God. And I started on that thing before the break with the madrasas. There is a classic example. Every time I see that, that's what you need to know about religion. This is what you are doing to your children. Maybe not in exactly the same way, but in subtler ways, or maybe in that way.
By the way, subtler is just as insidious because you don't...
Schlepping them to church, schlepping them to shul, sticking the beanies on their heads, forcing them to read a lot of mumbo-jumbo that's all man-written crap.
Right. Not a ritual.
And, of course, teaching them to hate anybody who doesn't share their particular brand of crap. I mean, when is the day coming that we're going to start, the Franco-American crowd against the Chef Boyardee crowd? Hey. We don't like your canned pasta, so therefore you must be Anticristo. Yeah?
Die, heretic.
We're going to kill your ass because you're eating the wrong kind of canned crapola. Well, it's all a bunch of crapola anyway. And they're davening, and they're rocking, and they're they got their magic carpet, and by the time they're like 8, 9, 10 years old, no wonder they're doing the suicide bombings, okay? They're crazier than a bedbug at that point. Ever see a bedbug in a flying carpet?
Not lately.
Frustrated Iraqis say, I got a whole pile of stuff here, and I've been wasting my time. Why didn't you tell me to stop with those stupid calls?
I'm sorry. Hey,
well, line 9's going to be good, though. QAM.
Jumbo!
Now you hit it. He needs to be murdered. He really does. We need to do away with that one.
Yeah.
He needs to be taken out, as they say. Iraqis have begun barricading themselves in their homes and forming neighborhood militias in an effort to fend off relentless suicide attacks, residents in the capital said yesterday. Sounds like everything is fine.
Oh, we're fine.
The measures come amid waning confidence in the Iraqi police and other security forces as they struggle to get on top of the 2-year-old insurgency. In the latest attack, 98 people were killed by a suicide truck bomb south of Baghdad Saturday. Well, it says the latest. That's before the ones that we talked about earlier in the show. I mean, the latest is whatever happened 5 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
A senior member of Iraq's parliament on Sunday called for popular militias to be created as an extra line of defense against the militants and criticized the government for failing to stop the bombs. The plans of the Interior and Defense Ministries to impose security in Iraq have failed, Kadur al-Khuzai told Parliament during a heated session following the latest blast. We need to bring back popular militias, he said, without expanding. That'd be a good tourist slogan for Baghdad. Visit Iraq, it's a blast. While there was some backing for his proposal, there are concerns militias formed along sectarian lines could lead the country even closer to civil war, with Shiite and Sunni Arabs already involved in tit-for-tat killings. Despite that fear, you heard it. Mm-hmm. Despite that fear, local militias already have been formed in several Baghdad areas, and at least 2 Shiite political movements have their own powerful private armies. Sounds like civil war to me, but what do I know?
By the way, I smell something in here now. Just
cinnamon?
Mention that in passing. No, quite the opposite.
Fire?
No. It smells like an open, septic tank smell.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me Fat Boy came by again.
Like, you know, when the gas trap in your bathroom isn't working right?
Right.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, don't tell me. Maybe it's the spillage, or maybe they're anticipating the book a week from tomorrow. Oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of wild diarrhea in that place. It is going to be incredible. I don't know. You know, Hank was kind of like, why did I bother asking? I shouldn't have brought that up. That was insensitive on my part. Hey, he could pull it out. He could have a big June. You never know.
You never know.
All you Hank people, you better hop on it, man. You better get with it. And stop, hanging them out there. Of course, now that we got the basketball finally over, we got that Ira off of there, that certainly can only be a bonus. Oh, God. Please, Clarence, stop it already. He needs to be kidnapped, Clarence. Needs to be taken away so that the rest of us can be safe. 639. You think we're going to make 800? What do you say? That's got to be our new goal. We have to, downside.
Did you?
What? What? No, you cut it on. I put input.
Oh, President Bush is picking a Supreme Court nominee. Ought to be announced at 9 o'clock tonight. It's that broad. It's that Edith Bunker.
Yeah, what is it? School lady? School teacher?
Whatever she is. The school teacher, the one who got blown up on the space shuttle.
There's engineer scrambling around the radio station music.
Well, while we're doing that,
People seem to be content. $50 paved the road. Freaks were in a stranger's tent. On the day. So we will find Georgia ring. Have yourself a dandy day, of course you wonder a thing. Hair was short and skirts were long. Kate Smith really sang that song. I don't know just what went wrong.
So. Hello? Yeah. Oh. Yeah, maybe our audio is a little dim.
Your turn. What? We're on? I think we're back.
Oh, we're back on. All right, let's hear it.
Oh!
Well, we had a little technical difficulty, which is very hard to believe at 2 a.m., but nevertheless. So we were off the air for like, what, about 4 or 5 minutes?
Thereabouts, maybe 10.
That should be a real good audience builder. So what do you want to do? How do you want to do this, Josh? Hello?
Yeah, you're not on the air, Josh. For some reason. How about now? We had to reset Josh's
How about now?
board.
My bad.
Oh,
they reset Josh's entire board.
The whole board was reset.
You call this a radio station?
No.
I call this a joke.
You're not going to hit a spot.
Well, I don't know what time it is, but if it's time for the 12 after break, we could just play that, and I'll play the one spot that we need to play.
Yeah.
The break we missed.
I see. Well, what do you mean you don't want? You don't have a clock in there? It's
we just reset, so it's
right.
The clock says 0.
Well, I'm not resetting. I'm like my life is purring right along like it always does. It's 1:07. It's purring all right along. So in other words, you want to incorporate that 1 minute into the.
Yeah, whenever. Just take the break at 12 after, and the only spot I really need to play is that one we missed. So.
Well, good.
I'll play.
See, everything is fine. We're just fine, and of course that kind of like I was hoping for about maybe 1:40.
Right.
Because I don't like being overworked with you. We didn't have no ball game today or Thursday, and I don't like this being overworked 2 full days a week in the summer. So we apologize profusely, but our audience ought to be getting pretty used to it, right?
Right.
What do you think?
I'm sure they are.
Thanks to all those people that called and faxed in and said, you're off the air. Thank you very much. See, at first I thought it was like in our line here between me and there.
Right. Well,
which that just doesn't happen. There isn't any reason.
That's
it's
what
a hard
I thought.
line. There's no reason. Huh?
That's what I thought, but we couldn't hear ourselves either.
I see.
So.
Okay, let me just move along. Tampa. And, of course, we had the earlier story on this. This Deborah LaFave. Remember Deborah LaFave? You will once we get into the story.
I know all about her. I can't
wait. A middle school reading teacher whose sexual liaisons with a 14-year-old student made tabloid headlines broke off plea negotiations with prosecutors and will claim insanity at December trial, her attorney said yesterday. Like that. Deborah LaFave, 24, was under such emotional stress that she didn't know right from wrong when she had sex with a 14-year-old student numerous times. Maybe that's what happened with that chick in Oregon. Wasn't it Oregon or Washington? What was her name?
Somewhere around there.
Letourneau.
Mary Kay.
She didn't know right from wrong. Deborah LaFave, 24, was under such emotional stress that she didn't know right from wrong when she had sex with a 14-year-old student numerous times in June 2004, attorney John Fitzgibbon said after a brief court hearing. A December 5 trial date was set. Fitzgibbon said plea bargaining broke down because prosecutors wanted too much prison time for LaFave, who appeared in court Monday but didn't speak. And by the way, those of us who watch Guiding Light, are we supposed to just have amnesia all of a sudden and forget about Alan and what happened before he got spirited away by whatever? It's just, I'm sorry, I can't handle it no more. I'm losing it. To place an attractive young woman, and Philip is alive now, which at any rate. To place an attractive young woman in that kind of hellhole is like putting a piece of raw meat in with a lion, said Fitzgibbons, who wouldn't talk about details of the negotiations. I'm not sure Deborah would survive. He said he had hoped to settle the case with a plea agreement, not only for Debbie's sake, but for the young man's sake. She was crazy. She didn't know what she was doing. She didn't know right from wrong. State Attorney's Office spokeswoman Pam Bondi, I wonder if she's kin to Dick Biondi or Beulah Bondi, also wouldn't disclose details of the negotiations, but said prosecutors made every effort to resolve the case and now will have to put the victim and his family through a trial. Judge Wayne Timmerman agreed to appoint 2 mental health professionals to evaluate LaFave, who Fitzgibbon said would claim she is not guilty by reason of insanity. What teacher in her right mind would do something like this, Fitzgibbon said. Isn't that always a good excuse?
Okay.
Oh, by the way, the president, we were off the air. The president's going to be announcing 9 o'clock tonight the Supreme Court nominee. It's going to be that broad from New Orleans, Edith Bunker. Wasn't that what her name was?
Something like that.
I think it was Edith Bunker from New Orleans.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played. Songs that made my hit away.
LaFave is charged with 4 felony counts of lewd and lascivious battery, 1 count of lewd and lascivious exhibition. Each carries a maximum 15-year prison term. Prosecutors have said that a state psychologist already determined she was not insane at the time, while one hired by the defense concluded that she was mentally ill. The teenager told investigators that he and LaFave, a newlywed at the time, got to know each other on their way back from a class trip to SeaWorld in Orlando, May 2004. You got any tickets to SeaWorld, by the way?
Not on me, no.
He said she invited him to her class during detention, ended up taking him to his basketball practices at a recreation center to get his haircut and to his house score record. So the sexual relationship allegedly began June 3rd, 2004. The boy told investigators that the two had sex in a classroom at Greco Middle School in Temple Terrace. Oh, Temple Terrace near Tampa. A Riverview townhouse, and once in a vehicle, while his 15-year-old cousin drove them around Marion County. He said LaFave told them her marriage was in trouble as she was aroused by the fact that having sex with him was not allowed. Well, how about that? She was aroused by the fact that it was the forbidden fruit. Great. Speaking of sex, let's take a look at that poll. Big announcement, 9 o'clock tonight to cover up the Rove business. And, of course, if it turns out not to be all that controversial, maybe that won't be such a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they would have put somebody on there like Ann Coulter would have been good.
Oh, yeah.
Kept that damn Karl Rove out of the paper for weeks. Which of these applies to you? Our sex survey, okay? 679 votes to try to prove a point. And at this point, I'm not even sure what the point was, but nevertheless, here it is. I'm 100% heterosexual male, no gay experiences, 410. We're not going to make 800, you're right. Of course, being off the air didn't help.
No.
I'm a heterosexual male who's had at least one sexual experience with a male, 97, 14%. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse, 66, almost 10%. I'm a heterosexual female, no gay experiences, 44. I'm really a bisexual male, 18. I'm a gay male who has had sex with a woman, 11. I'm a gay male, never had sex with a woman, 10. That's 3% between the two. The number is going down, not up. It's going down. I'm really a bisexual female, 8, really. I'm a heterosexual female who's had lesbian sex, 6. I'm a lesbian who's had sex with a man, 6. And I'm a lesbian never had sex with a man, 4. Wow, I'm exhausted just from that and that whole... So what was do we know what the deal was? He just...
A circuit breaker broke.
I see. And the other day, like 4 days ago, was the modem. The modem went kaput. Mm-hmm. And so until about 9:30 this morning. What was it, about 9:45? No, it was about like a little after 9, because that's right when Duff came in. Mm-hmm. And everybody said, "You fairy!" And he waved his little magic wand, and just like magic, all the phone, the dots came back on, and the clock, it was amazing. Duff always had a good way he has a way with the clock.
strap it on and you go at it.
113 at 560 WQM. For years, Armstrong Ford Homestead has always treated everybody like family, and right now they want to extend an offer to you to join their family. Ford has just announced their Ford Family Plan. Right now at Armstrong Ford Homestead, you can purchase a vehicle at employee discount prices. You heard me right. Now through July 31, Armstrong Ford Homestead gives you the same great pricing that every Ford Motor Company employee and their families get. And not only do you get employee family pricing, but you still, as you'd expect, get Armstrong Ford's exclusive tires and batteries for life program. And for a limited time with any new car purchase, you'll get a color TV free. So what are you waiting for? Pick up that phone right now and call 305-247-5112 and ask for David Rich. You won't get a better deal on a Ford anywhere. No bait and switch, no phony deals. And this fantastic offer is only available at Armstrong Ford Homestead, where they always treat you like family. Armstrong Ford, proud to be locally owned and operated. Vice President and General Manager David Rich says, bring your family to meet our family, to meet the ganze Mishpacha, whatever that means. Armstrong Ford Homestead, US 1 at Southwest 307th Street, just 20 minutes south of the 836. Check them on the wicked web, armstrongcars.com. Give David a call at 305-247-5112, and he'll tell you all about that Ford Family Plan. Drive a little and save yourself thousands at Armstrong Ford of Homestead.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560 QAM.
David's a bitch.
It's the moment.
I like it when you do it. But you is easy. Oh, yeah, the way you do it. It's the moment. You teach me the doing.
Oh, no. The door.
It's the moment. I think you'll get me with it. If you do the story, the lie. And it's not a favorite the moment. Let's try it 1, 2, 3.
You mean the door.
It's so big a thing. When I use my own little eyes, like when I go, favorite the moment. Please teach me how to say it. Favorite the moment. You gotta teach me how to go.
The door. Now you.
Yeah. What's that doing mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't never said go to the door. Right here.
Don't forget, Geldy for Mo this afternoon. He's going to be doing for 2 hours, 2 to 4. If we can keep the transmitter on the air, that is. I'm surprised, speaking of being off the air, I'm surprised that Clarence and somebody didn't come rushing in there and interrupt right in the middle of our broadcast just a couple of minutes ago. You want to know why?
Why?
Big news from Dolphin Camp.
Really?
Ricky Williams is expected to report to the Dolphins for the first day of training camp according to NFL.com. Is this incredible or what?
Wow.
According to the report, official conversations regarding
this.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Play a news sounder, at least.
Yeah.
You have them there?
Do I have what there?
News sounders.
CBS presents Survivor.
Oh, no, that's not it. What about this?
This is CBS.
According to the report, official conversations regarding his reinstatement will take place later this week. But, you wanted me to play the other one.
Yeah. Oh. Compelling news.
Oh, I got it. I may have to start over again. Ricky Williams, baby. And we can dig out all those old Ricky Williams bits again. What a joke. Well, they're desperate, you know. They got to welcome him back with open arms and legs because they're desperate. Plus, he's got the good stuff, you know. That's what we hear.
I want to hear more.
Ricky Williams is expected to report to the Dolphins for the first day of training camp according to NFL.com. According to the report, official conversations regarding his reinstatement will take place later this week. But Williams is expected to be cleared by the NFL to report to training camp on Sunday with the rest of his teammates in preparation for the first day of on-field drills the following day, 2 days from the one-year anniversary that Williams abruptly retired. He turned his back on him, just like Shane Corson. Shane. The report also states, don't get me started with that hockey stuff now. This is the week for hockey, and isn't it appropriate we got Geldy on today, huh? We're just gagging on it.
Rooms of it.
holding the territorial advantage over Edmonton also. Sorley now trying to change things for Edmonton with Messier. Sorley, but
good. See, we got to get some hockey going, man. Let's book a hockey show. As a three-time offender of the league's substance abuse policy, Ricky Williams faces a one-year suspension if he fails or misses a drug test. Dolphins first-year coach Nick Saban is welcoming the return of Williams and is confident it won't be a distraction. I think it's going to be up to the team not to allow it to be a circus and to focus on what we need to focus on as a team to be successful, Saban said during a recent interview with a local media. It will also only matter if we let it matter, whatever that means. It only matters if you let it matter. Right?
Okay. What does it matter?
Nice going, Nick, whatever you say. Boy, they're going to have a brutal year with or without Ricky Williams. They'd be better off to sign up Ricky Ticky. At least he plays cheaper anyway. Here's a grotesque story just in. A lot of stuff going on today. Although it does avoid us taking a lot of those really good calls. 12-year-old girl sexually assaulted in an elevator at Universal Studios Resort in Orlando. A man followed a 12-year-old tourist onto an elevator at Universal Studios Resort and sexually assaulted her, officials said today. Orange County Sheriff Sergeant Richard Mankiewicz said the assault happened at 11:30 last night after the suspect followed the girl, who was alone looking for her mother, from the parking lot into the Enclave Suites.
How did that happen, I wonder?
A key is required. How did what happen?
That she was alone and looking for her mother.
It's called incompetent parents.
Right.
A key is required to enter the hotel, but Mankiewicz said the man followed the girl closely enough to enter after she unlocked the door. Once on the elevator, the attacker told the girl he wanted to have sex, investigators said. He then told her to remove her shirt, and when she refused, reached under her shirt and touched her stomach. He also it's a good thing he didn't do that to, what's-her-name on Guiding Light.
What's her name?
Dinah. Nothing could be finer than to find out that Dinah ain't pregnant. She's wearing a thing. He also touched the girl's genitals over her shorts. Mankiewicz said it appeared the man had carefully chosen the girl because he saw an opportunity to be alone with her. The girl told investigators she bit the man after he put his hand over his mouth to stop her from screaming. Mankiewicz said the suspect did not allow the girl off on the 5th floor where her room was. At some point, the girl pushed the elevator's emergency button and ran out of the elevator when it stopped on the 8th floor. Detective Samara Melich wouldn't release specific details about the girl, except she's from abroad and her family recently arrived in the U.S. and her mother's incompetent. However, the girl had taken a self-defense course just 2 weeks ago, which police credited with helping her end the attack. Always a good idea, all you foreigners out there, before you come to the U.S., take a self-defense course because it's a jungle out there. She was extremely shaken. She was just trying to calm down, Mellett said. She said the girl and her family intended to stay in Orlando for up to 2 weeks. She said the family wasn't cutting short the vacation because they wanted to stay to help law enforcement prosecute the man. Investigators distributed still photos captured from security cameras of the man leaving the elevator. No camera was in the elevator. Universal Studios didn't say their mom was so far. They're saying, like that. 26 after 1 at 560 WQM, the home of technical incompetence and insanity. Boy, isn't that great? We got the phone working now. I can see the clock. I can see the phone lines on there like this. See? I beg your pardon? I see that. 26 past 1 at QAM in the Geldy warm-up show. Did you get a good night's sleep last night? Were you tossing and turning all night? Tired of that small, cramped bed? Well, if so, it's time to step up to a new queen or king-size bed from our good friends at Dollar Mattress. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you'll choose from Florida's largest inventory of queen and king-size beds ready for same-day delivery. And you still get to pick that 2-hour window, the date and time, any day, 7 days a week, from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., when it's convenient for you. Dollar Mattress carries the complete line of all the top names in the business, which I've been telling you about for years. Sealy, Serta, Simmons, King Coral, Stearns, and Bananas Foster, too. I bet you Bananas Foster with cinnamon would really be good. Their everyday low prices and deep stock make your shopping a breeze. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you know you're going to be talking with expert bedding consultants who listen to your needs, who will suggest a style and comfort level for you that's perfect because this is their only business mattresses. They don't sell cinnamon. They don't sell shoes. All they do is sell mattresses. Just about everybody here at QM sleeps like a baby on a Dollar Mattress bed. You ought to be doing the same. Just do the easiest piece of shopping you could ever think of. Make that one easy call, 1-800-MATTRESS, or do it online, mattress.com. Dollar Mattress, 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for stupendous, sensational savings. And we sure as hell don't want to hear that CBS sweeper again, do we?
When it comes to entertainment, we've got the latest personality. Neil Rogers is executive for Sports Radio 560. QAM.
And stick it.
A young man turned 28. He scored the sweetest bag
all gone the next day. It's too many seats in your dime bag. Getting to the party 2 minutes too late. Isn't it the chronic? Don't you think? It's not great when your glass phone breaks. It's a free bag when you're already baked. Food weed that you just didn't take. Who would have thought you'd get it? Hot brownie that you already ate. A new stoner sign, a law that you break. It's like 10,000 joints when all you need is a light. It's like having the feel of your dreams and then finding out you've got 10 to life. And isn't it the chronic?
Yes.
Don't you think? A little too much chronic. Yeah, I really do think. It's not great when your glass phone breaks. It's free bag when you're already baked. Food weed that you just didn't take. Who would have thought you'd get it?
We got a shot at 800 votes on our survey today. We got 724. We got about 27 minutes to go. What do you think? Can we do it? Can we?
No.
We can do it. 800.
You can do it.
Pretty sad when we got to be shooting for 800, isn't it?
Oh well, it's the summer.
Yeah.
And we don't
Plus,
have
of course, who the hell wants to be on that website? No more naked pictures. A federal jury yesterday convicted San Diego's new acting mayor and a city councilman of taking payoffs from a strip club owner to help repeal a no-touching law at nude clubs, the latest blow to a city of Washington scandal. Oh, they got problems. Michael Zucchet, who became interim mayor over the weekend, was found guilty of conspiracy, extortion, and fraud on his first day of business in office. He was immediately suspended from the position. Councilman Ralph Inunza, who was convicted of the same charges, was also suspended a sentence. The jury also returned guilty verdicts against former Cloud County, Nevada Commissioner Lance Malone, who worked for strip club owner Michael Gilardi to repeal San Diego's ban preventing nude dancers and patrons from touching each other. The repeal effort failed. It is still unclear who will succeed Zucchet, whose conviction leaves the city rudderless at one of the most troubled points in its history. Mayor Dick Murphy resigned and left office Friday, 8 months into a second term cut short by mounting problems at City Hall. Sounds like they're mounting a lot of things out there, isn't it? They have mounting problems. And evidently some of the people on our poll today also have the same thing. They have mounting problems. Ari Berman in The Nation writes, Frist versus Science. That Bill Frist man, you watch out. Anybody who's into fristing, look out.
Right.
Last May, the Republican-dominated House of Representatives voted to loosen President Bush's limits on embryonic stem cell research, allowing scientists to study cells derived from soon-to-be-discarded embryos at fertility clinics. Senate Democrats and moderate Republicans could pass similar legislation as soon as this week. Conservatives realized they were opposing a popular policy that could be used against them as a wedge issue in midterm elections next year and again in 2008. So Senate Majority Leader Bill Frist has devised an alternative that undermines science while scoring political points. In 2001, Frist came out in support of embryonic research, calling the science a promising and important line of inquiry. But a month later, under pressure from Christian conservatives, President Bush limited federal funding to already existing stem cell lines, which are few in number and often already contaminated. Frist quickly fell in line. Now his so-called alternative would bypass ethical constraints by obtaining stem cells without destroying embryos. Only this method remains entirely unproven and is yet to appear in a major scientific medical journal or clear the peer review process. Even scientists exploring this approach call the choice between supporting the bipartisan legislation co-sponsored by Tom Harkin and Arlen Specter and Frist's alternative a no-brainer. We need to pass the Harkin-Specter bill, Robert Lanza, Vice President of Medical and Scientific Research for Advanced Cell Technology, told the Senate. I don't think we should keep the scientific community or the patient community waiting. The House may not have enough votes to override President Bush's threat of a veto, which would be his first. The Senate might. As he undergoes chemotherapy for Hodgkin's disease, Specter says he's madder than hell watching Republicans stall legislation that could help researchers discover an eventual cure for cancer, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's disease. Try a few chemotherapy treatments and see how you feel, Spector told the AP, dismissing opposition from the GOP's born-again Christian base. The potential for stem cells has been held in abeyance much too long, he said. And for once, he happens to be...
Absolutely correct, sir.
I mean, that single magic bullet theory didn't work out too good, but this one, he may have his thumb on it, finally. He's not looking too good these days, Arlen.
No, I saw with that hair, he looks like a chemotherapy patient or something.
That's because he is.
I see.
Oh. Quad City's morning host. Now, this couldn't be an employee of Clear Channel, could it? Huh?
Absolutely.
Jay Scott, who co-hosts the top-rated morning show at Clear Channel's country WLLR Quad Cities, Iowa, Illinois, is off the air following his arrest on a number of felony child sexual abuse charges. The 57-year-old Scott, whose real name is Aubrey Starcher, turned himself into Scott County, Iowa law enforcement officials last week. He faces 2 felony counts of lascivious acts with a child and misdemeanor counts of indecent exposure and exhibition of obscene material to a minor, according to the Moline, Illinois Dispatch. The child in question is described as a 7-year-old female relative.
Okay.
Scott apparently asked the station for leave last week to attend personal issues, were as caught off guard and shocked as anybody else, WLLR GM Larry Rosmillo told news outlets. The morning show for WLLR, the market's top-rated station, is being hosted by Starcher's co-host, Danielle. A 7-year-old relative, no less. I mean, you know, as you read each word, it became a little bit more grotesque.
Sure. Well, maybe that's that radio pedophile ring we keep hearing about.
Oh, is that what it is? I have to call up Buddy Nevins and find out. Hey, Buddy, how's it going?
You fairy.
You simpleton, you idiot. You quisling. What do we got? 7:39. I don't think we're going to make it. If we don't make 800 votes by 2 o'clock, I'm out the rest of the week. That's a promise. I mean, because this isn't even a vote. This isn't even asking you to put your thinking cap on.
Like a census.
It's just a census. It's a survey. Our survey says they just don't care enough to send the very best, worst, whatever. The land of indifference, man. One good thing about South Florida, nothing ever changes and never will. It's just the same. Oh, man. Like that 60-cycle tone. Like that. It just lewd drones right on. 21 till, the British imams are issuing a fatwa condemning the violence. Isn't that right? A fatwa.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, they issued a fatwa.
A fat one?
You better watch out when they issue that fatwa.
I wish I had a fat one.
Yeah, I bet you do. I know some guys got it. Well, 21 till 2 at QAM. Chuck Alfieri, if you got a bald one, if you got a big bald spot on top of your head, a big, shiny, ugly bald spot, Charlie would like to help you say goodbye to it forever. Because Charles Alfieri has been helping the famous and even the infamous and everybody in between look their best for over 30 long years now.
About 30, man.
You wouldn't recognize Charlie's work when you see it because it looks like real hair. That's the key. You know the difference. You see those guys with those awful-looking muskrats, those mousy-looking pieces, and you laugh your ass off at them and say, that's the worst wig I ever saw in my life. But Charlie's new skin-like hair system is 100% undetectable. The hair looks like it's growing right out of your scalp. And Charlie's work is guaranteed. You've got nothing to lose but that shiny bald spot that makes you look so old. You try Charlie's system for a month, for about 30 days.
About 30, man.
And after a month, if you don't love the way it looks and feels and smells, if you're not getting just tons of action, solicited and otherwise, return it for a full refund. Make the call today. Tell Charlie you heard about it here on the Neil Rogers Show and get your summer special QAM $200 discount off the regular $800 price of the natural hairline system. Call toll-free 1-800-321-2413. There's no obligation. Charlie will make an appointment for you, bring you in and show you just how much better and younger he can make you look. 1-800-321-2413 or on the wicked web. It's charlesalfieri.com.
When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers. Neil Rogers. Neil God! Sports Radio 560. QAM.
Police, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil God.
No, I'm not trying to be rude. Underage girl, I'm feeling you. The way you do the things you do. Judge that stay away from you. Promise me that you never tell. Made videos in the hotel. You have a great fake ID. Cause it showed for me. Now give me that. And give me that. Running her hands through my fro. Only 15 years old. Is how the story is told. One more step to probation. Ain't no guilty admission. Do community service so I can keep out of prison. Sipping my coke and rum. Your sophomore year is not done. Look out for quick plea bargain so I can have me some fun. Yeah. Bail, 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 bail.
What is it? 16 till 2, 16 till Geldy. Geldy's going to do a few doys for you today. That's what I'm hearing. That's the rumor around the building, isn't it?
Okay.
That's the rumor around our neck of the woods. Doug Thompson, who writes the rant on CapitolHill.blue, your very favorite website, got a good article as usual. When I say CapitolHill.blue.com, is that what I said?
Yes,
Not
it did.
really.
I mean, yes,
well, that's what I should have said. More dishonesty from a dishonest president, he writes today. President George W. Bush got another chance Monday to prove he was as good as his word. Once again, he failed to keep a promise made to the American people. In September 2003, Bush said he would fire anyone in the White House caught leaking the name of CIA operative Valerie Plame to the media. He repeated the promise in June 2004, saying flat out that any administration official found to have talked to the press about Plame would be dismissed immediately. That, however, was before his closest advisor, Karl Rove, got caught giving the information to Time magazine reporter Matthew Cooper, who also identified Vice President Richard Cheney's chief of staff as the secondary source for the leak, Scooter Libby. Now W singing a different tune, upping the standard by saying he'll fire anyone convicted of a crime. Anyone who knows the double standard of justice in Washington knows there's little chance that Rove or anybody else in the administration getting hauled into a courtroom, much less convicted. So Bush, who promised Americans the most ethical administration in history, gives Rove and the rest of his gang a walk for leaking classified information to a reporter as part of a planned White House plot of revenge against a public critic of the president. It appears that an administration that came to office promising honesty and integrity and to avoid legalisms is now defining ethical standards downwards, said Representative John Conyers of Michigan. In this White House, apparently no aide will be fired or forced to resign unless and until the jail cell door is locked behind him. Bush has a long history of association with criminals, from Enron con man Kenny Lay to scandal-ridden House Majority Leader Tom DeLay. His vice president is still under investigation in Europe for bribery and payoffs while serving as CEO of Halliburton, the same Halliburton that's ripped off the U.S. government with millions of dollars in overcharges through its no-bid contracts in Iraq. Honesty is a foreign concept to Bush. He lied to Congress and the American people to try to justify an illegal invasion of Iraq, ordered the Environmental Protection Agency, lied to New Yorkers about toxic substances in the air after the 9/11 attacks, and lied again when he promised to fire anyone caught leaking information on the wife of Ambassador Joseph Wilson, a career diplomat whose only crime was looking objectively as the administration's hype claims about Iraq uranium purchases in Africa and saying the president cooked the facts. A new poll from ABC News says only about 25% of the American people believe Bush is being honest about the Plame affair, down from 50% when the investigation began. Think of it. Only a quarter of Americans out there think the President of the United States is honest. That means 3/4 of them know Bush for what he is, a liar. I can't speak for the rest of you, but I don't much like the idea of a liar occupying the White House. I don't like the fact that a liar who did everything in his power to avoid serving his country in a war zone now sends Americans to fight and die in a war based on lies. If Bush is not going to keep his word and fire Karl Rove or any other administration official caught in this shameful Valerie Plame affair, there's still one thing left he can do to serve the best interest of the American people: fire himself. You're holding your breaths now, right? Yeah. Everybody inhale.
That's funny.
That's right, don't say inhale. Oh, speaking of inhaling and Van Halen, Amsterdam police arrest the swimming burglar.
Okay.
Amsterdam police arrested a fugitive burglar after he attempted to escape by diving into a canal in the early hours yesterday. Oh, man. Woo! Talk about desperate. If you could see the water in those canals.
I've heard tales.
I mean, brown. There's only one thing in the world is brown. Well, anyway. Amsterdam's scenic canals are flushed nightly and not believed to harbor diseases, but people are strongly discouraged from swimming in them. We go in the water if we absolutely have to, but we'd rather not, said spokesman Leo Dortland. In this case, it wasn't necessary. A pair of police on patrol recognized the 21-year-old man whose name was not released on the street. They were interviewing him about an unserved prison sentence when he suddenly dived into the canal. He attempted to elude arrest by swimming underwater and surfacing in unexpected places. At one point, he climbed onto the roof of a flower booth bordering the canal, then dived back into the water when police approached. In the end, he surrendered and allowed himself to be hoisted out of the water. God, what a disgusting thought. Talk about septic tank. Maybe that's what that aroma is in the building. Does it still stink?
It seems to have passed.
Oh,
yeah.
So to speak.
No pun intended.
Fairfax, Virginia, the woman who allegedly kept almost 500, we had this story last week, I think. The woman who allegedly kept nearly 500 cats in 2 Fairfax County houses agreed yesterday not to have any more pets. Oh, thank goodness. Ruth Gnuven, 82, agreed to sign a court order in district court yesterday that bans her from owning any animals. Gnuven spoke only once during the hearing. When she asked the judge to let her make a statement, because criminal charges are pending, the judge said, don't do it. She later declined to speak to reporters. During raids this month at Gnuven's Mount Vernon home and her daughter's townhouse in Burke, Fairfax County police found 488 cats, nearly half of them dead. Oh, that's the good news. The rest were so ill they had to be put to sleep. She'll return to court in October. Not a shame?
Yeah, it is. I'm going to call PETA.
Let's see. Huh?
I'm going to call PETA on her.
PETA? Call PETA Bolger. They deserve him. Actor Colin Farrell is suing a woman for allegedly trying to distribute and profit from a sex tape he says the two recorded with the agreement they would never make it public. The lawsuit filed yesterday in Superior Court in L.A. seeks general and compensatory damages, as well as a temporary restraining order and injunction prohibiting the sale and exploitation of the videotape. Farrell, 29, accuses Nicole Narain of trying to distribute the tape to an intermediary. The two had an intimate relation 2.5 years ago, and both agreed the 15-minute tape that shows the couple having sex would be jointly owned by them would remain private, according to the suit. Narain could not be reached for comment. A call to a phone number listed for her revealed the number has been disconnected. How unusual. A message left for Farrell's attorney wasn't immediately returned Monday. The lawsuit also accused a 31-year-old woman of working with the owner of an internet pornography business and contacting the news media about the tape. Defendants' outrageous attempt to capitalize on the celebrity of plaintiff Colin Farrell through their unauthorized commercial exploitation of the highly private and confidential videotape exceeds all bounds of common human decency, the lawsuit says. Farrell, who starred in SWAT, Alexander is slated to appear in The New World and Miami Vice, has been named one of the sexiest men alive by People magazine and has a son with model Kim Bordenov. Is that her name?
I don't know.
Kim, like that. He's been named one of the sexiest men alive by People magazine, which means he's probably, and he actually is, pretty ugly.
And he can't act.
Other than that, he's dynamite. Dynamite. One of the best customers at the Chocolate Moose restaurant in Farmland, Indiana, has never been inside the door. Missy Joe, a 60-pound bulldog mix, comes with owner Tony Mills, 51, of the restaurant for a daily treat of plain cheeseburgers and vanilla milkshakes on the patio. The tradition started 7 years ago when Mills was mowing his father's lawn, noticed a barking dog next door in the town 50 miles east of Muncie. Mills took a break and walked out of the restaurant, ordered the dog a cheeseburger, and fed her over the fence. The barking stopped. Eventually, Mills became acquainted with the dog's owners, and for 3 years, every time he mowed his father's lawn or went over to visit, he took a cheeseburger along for Missy Joe. In 2001, the dog's owners moved and couldn't take the dog to their new home, so Mills asked if he could have her, and the owners agreed. Although the dog may like the special treats, the Mills vet doesn't approve. He doesn't think it's the best idea in the world, he said, but Missy Joe acts like she's just fine.
Oh, we're fine.
So she has an oil clog in the arteries and just plops over dead. So if there's a barking dog in the hood, just give it a cheeseburger. Huh? Oh, I see that cheeseburger. They screwed him over. They didn't renew their lease. Do you see that?
No, I did not.
So not only did Vic and Herbs go the way of the wind, but cheeseburger, won't see them no more. Did you ever eat there?
No.
I've eaten the pounder.
And?
It's good. I got my picture on the wall.
It was good.
Yes.
They're not renewing their lease. Did you hear what I just said?
I'll have to see because there's one right there in Coral Springs.
Well, I'll be there. Oh, maybe this is the one in Fort Lauderdale, so maybe it's just one. Solamente uno. 152 at 560 WQM. TV's got a new schedule. Yours. Demand is an exciting new feature that's been added to Comcast Digital Cable, and you can try it today for only $29.99 a month for 3 months. Comcast On Demand puts TV on your terms. Now you can choose from a library of shows with over 3,000 hours of free movies, TV shows, kids shows, sports special interest programs from a variety of TV shows at an extra charge to a huge library of movies that you're used to paying for at the video store. Comcast On Demand will change the way you watch TV. Plus, you can start them whenever you like, whether it's 9:17 in the morning, 11:23 at night, whenever. Plus, with HBO On Demand, you can have an entire library of programming of HBO original series and movies right at your fingertips, all free with your subscription to HBO. And don't forget about Control. With On Demand, you can start, stop, pause, rewind, fast-forward programs using that remote. And if you only have basic cable or the dish, trust me, you're missing out. So make the move to Comcast Digital Cable with the power of On Demand. Call 954-COMCAST or 305-COMCAST today and get yourself Comcast Digital Cable and HBO for just $29.99 a month for 3 months. Certain restrictions apply. Call for details in Broward 9454-COMCAST or in Dade 305-COMCAST.
When it comes to sports, we're the authority. Sports Radio 560.
Brad Pitt God.
I've constantly expressed my displeasure with leaks, particularly leaks of classified information, and I want to know. I want to know the truth. I want to see to it that the truth prevails.
Now it seems to us that Rove knew just what he said. Words are not just words. When an agent might get killed, Mr. President, will you do just what you said? And lock up Karl Rove for his treason, baby.
You stood at that podium and said that Karl Rove was not involved.
We don't want to see Karl no more. We don't want the country to pay for him. will be safer if you kick him out the door. Bush will make the White House more legit.
Contrary to what you told the American people, he did indeed talk about his wife, didn't he?
David, there will be a time to talk about this, but now is not the time to talk about it.
Bye, bye, bye! Wait a minute. What the hell was that?
Oh, it sounded like the exit.
Huh?
Ready to go?
Ready to go what?
Go away.
That was well, it fit right in with the ambiance and everything. No, I was refreshing the thing there, and I noticed we got a minute and a half, and we're not going to make our 800.
No.
Why do you go like that? No.
Well, because I thought we were, and I'm disappointed that we're not.
778, and it's not even a poll. Just a survey. I think you've driven all those fags away, George.
Yeah,
Too much. Look at that. They're trickling in one at a time. Well, that's okay.
They're dribbling?
They're just dribbling in on our sex survey. Which of these applies to you? I think, generally speaking, it's like that. Very sad. Boy, how the mighty have fallen. Can you believe it?
Yeah, well, 'tis the season. And I just got another email about the beaded curtain just now during that last break.
You know what? Take the beaded curtain and shove it in your... In fact, maybe you got some of those anal love beads still hanging around. Remember those?
Yeah, I do. They're on the wall.
Yeah, or some of those pistol-fitted vibrators that your buddy used to hand out. Get some help, will you please?
I have no life.
The beaded curtain. We can't do it no more, okay? That's the fascist USA. That's the government you live under.
I have no life.
Get with it. Okay, we got Goldie coming along next. He's going to doy his way from 2 to 4.
Bye, bye, bye! When it comes to entertainment, it's Neil Rogers Middays. Sports Radio 560, WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Doy.